Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Devonport for what is going to be a very exciting day of triathlon. It is the Oceania Junior Australian Championships and the Oceania Elite Under-23 and Open. So it is Andrew Hopwood and Craig Redman. Redders, that is a beautiful picture.
Fantastic view of Devonport, Mersey Bluff there in the background, and you can see part of the bike course in the top of the screen there. But it's mid-tide for the junior races this morning, and so they'll have a little bit of a wade for the start of their swim, but a little bit coolish, but no breeze to speak of, so perfect conditions for racing.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the competitors early. The young ladies look somewhat pensive in the transition area, getting everything ready. I was alerted to the fact that there's no wetsuits on this morning, so the water is quite tepid, if you like, but it'll be around that, 20 degrees?
Yeah, it was measured at 20.8, so it is a non-wetsuit swim for the athletes, but a little bit chilly coming out, but it's not cold enough for them to make wetsuits mandatory. So it's a non-wetsuit swim that will certainly suit the stronger swimmers that in this field, so they'll be very happy with that. And we're looking forward to seeing some fantastic racing and the traditional rivalry of the Aussies versus the Kiwis for the Oceania Championships. Yeah,
it's very much so indeed. And in fact, talking of that, I was down talking to some of the young ladies before, and Hayley Cornwall from New Zealand, she suggested that Devonport was very much like her hometown, small community where everyone rallies around. She liked what she saw. She went out in the water and had a bit of a swim. We've got competitors from all around the country. Of course, Aspen Anderson, I think, won last year's event. She's back to defend that one. So just to correct it, so 16 is the minimum age, Redders, that to be invested in this race?
Yeah, 16 to 19 is the age group for juniors at this level. Just saw a shot there of the Oz Triathlon high performance hierarchy under the new performance director Sean Stevens there, just looking at the course and final instructions to their team. They're obviously keeping a lookout for junior athletes. Selections on the line for some of the Australian athletes here. If they perform here, might give them an automatic ticket to the World Championships in Wollongong later in the year.
And we're very fortunate, Redders. I believe you were with the roving reporter yesterday. You had the microphone out. Who is it you caught up with?
Yeah, look, I caught up with a young lady called Claire Spicknall. Claire's hails from Wollongong. She's part of Oz Triathlon's talent transfer program. Amazing young lady who's making a foray into the sport of triathlon from surf life saving. Let's hear a few words of what she has to say. So Claire, welcome to Tasmania. They tell me it's your first time down to Devonport.
Yeah, it is. I've never been here and the weather's fantastic. Like Tasmania.
Look, it's a great part of the world. So what do you know about the course here?
I know that there's a really, really steep hill that we do 4 times. And I'm not sure what the tide will be like, but I hear that when it's low tide, it's a really long run up the beach. And I'm honestly really excited for that. I think coming from a surf life saving background, that could be a strength for me if the tide's in my favour. So I'm looking forward to it.
Now they tell me you're obviously surf life saving background. Athletes like Emma Jeffcoat has a surf life saving background, and you're part of Oz Triathlon's talent ID program. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I started in surf life saving, and during COVID, I started doing more running because the pools were shut, and I was at National Cross Country in Adelaide, and we met Jared Evans there, and he just kind of kept in contact and eventually weaned me off of surf life saving and into triathlon, and I really enjoy it. I'm very grateful that I was able to be picked up in his program.
So obviously it's Junior Oceania's here, but also automatic selection for the World Championships in your hometown of Wollongong. How exciting is that?
It's so exciting. I mean, where I train is where the race would be, so if I'd been able to be selected, that would mean the world to me. My family, my friends, my school, everything is there. But I don't want to let that pressure affect how I race on Saturday, so I'm just going in there with the mindset of, first of all, I just need a good swim. Then I need a fast transition, a fast bike, and hopefully the pieces fall together.
Yeah, great plan, just making sure one step at a time. So tell me, what's the plans after this? I mean, obviously this is your first couple of years into the sport of triathlon. What would you like to go and do further down the track?
Down the track? I have no idea, really. Wollongong has been kind of the end point It's like the short-term goal. Long-term, I'm just want to see where it takes me.
And tell me how you're going with Jared Evans. He's been coaching for many, many years, very experienced, has developed a lot of incredibly good athletes over the years. What's it like being coached by Jared?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, you go from club level to Jared Evans, and he knows so much, and he's very wise when it comes to programming and picking races. In the past, I probably haven't been the best at choosing and being exclusive in the races that I do, and it's nice to be in a high-performance environment.
That's great. So we've had plenty of athletes that have come to Devonport for the first time that have surf lifesaving backgrounds, and I can reel off people like Craig Walton, Emma Jeffcoat. There's plenty of others. So you're following in a long line of tradition of people that have done here. Do you know much about the history of Devonport Triathlon?
I've seen some Instagram posts about Devonport Triathlon. Yeah, I know it's a very historic event. There's been lots of Olympians who have won it, and I don't know, I think it would be cool if I could make my mark here just like they did as well.
Well, good luck for your race on Saturday, and hopefully we'll see a lot more of you in the future.
Thank you.
Oh, an impressive young lady, Redders.
Yeah, no, spoke very well. Obviously, I'm very passionate about her hometown in Wollongong, and we look forward to seeing if she can make the world's team. And here's our start list for the junior race.
Yeah, here is our start list. I believe we've got 27 young ladies taking to the starting line, and of course headed by the current champion Aspen Anderson, who is looking to go back to back. The course, Redders, excuse me, it's an interesting course. Of course, the swim goes straight out from the surf club. It can get a little bit undulating as it gets out towards the head, but today it looks quite calm.
Yeah, look, the wind hasn't quite got up yet, so it's quite protected. The swim protected by the Mersey Bluff, as you can see there on the course map. It's a 1 lap, 750 metre swim. They do have quite a run from the beach, so there's a bit of a wade for the juniors because of the tide. 4 laps of a 20 kilometre bike course, and of course it includes the notorious North Street Hill.
Yes.
So 4 times up the North Street Hill for the juniors, and then a very flat, very fast 5 kilometre run, 2 laps along the Victoria Parade and down to the Mersey River and back. So exciting course, a very fast course, as our girls line up for the junior women's race.
It's interesting, mate, the hill. It's got into the psyche of everyone. As I was, again, just going around listening to the young ladies talk, all the mums and dads, all I did hear was the hill. It does separate them out, doesn't it, where you can make your mark. And I remember here last year, I think it was in the elite, there was a breakaway, and it was enough to hang on in the run, you know. So if you're prepared to put in hard on that hill, it could give you the break.
Yeah, look, if they can have a good swim and they can get out onto the bike course and get up and down that hill the first time, pretty hard to catch after that unless the chase group gets organised and pulls their turn. So anything can happen. There are some quite strong swimmers in this field, so they'd be expecting to try and get out, and then obviously the runners of the field are trying to hang as close as they can and do their thing at the back end of the race.
It's an interesting time in the race when it was wonderful to get those shots of the young ladies' eyes as they concentrate on what lie ahead. Of course, today they would have been having a chat to their coaches. It's all about positive thoughts, the visualisation of where you're going to go, just having a glance out there, and look at that, as I'm saying, they're just having fun. And isn't that what it's about? I mean, here we are trying to be sort of earnest and serious about the race, and their future are on the line. It's wonderful. It is sport, and it's fantastic that the children of Australia are out here investing in their futures to be healthy of mind, healthy of body, and I just think it is fantastic. So now we might cross down to Casey Mainsbridge as he introduces the officials and the races for today.
Head referee Sue Scott and assistant head referee Sue Fairweather.
Aspen, do you want to chuck that in? That's okay.
What do we do with our towels? I'll go on the stairs and grab them off you. I'm carrying on the inside.
There are some of the swimmers. We're just, Casey will introduce those athletes for us. They look very happy, looking forward to the race. As we've just alluded to, it's a 750 metre swim, which does go out to that headland. And the wonderful news for everyone that is watching this, if you are within Australia and New Zealand, if you are in New Zealand especially, a very warm welcome to you to Tasmania. What we perceive, Redders, is without doubt the preeminent state within this country. We're a little bit biased, but it's a lovely spot here. Sports makes a big part of this community of Devonport. The precinct that will get some wonderful shots from the air. There are basketball grounds, there's soccer fields, hockey, football, cycling. It's a wonderful community, and about 20,000 odd people live in Devonport, 100 odd thousand along the northwest coast. It's for those who aren't aware, it's about 550 odd thousand within the state. There's 1/3 of it is World Heritage, another third is at national parks. It's a lovely spot here in Tasmania. It's an old-fashioned spot. It's when you walk down the street, you look someone in the eye and you say "G'day, Redders," and I like that.
Yep, everyone knows everybody. You do say good day. Look, it's a big race. It's the 40th anniversary for the Devonport Triathlon. There's many triathletes from across the globe that have raced here over the years. A lot of Kiwis have raced here and had selections for Olympic teams, and a lot of Australian athletes have raced here before.
Number 2, Gwen Watson.
Yeah, so now we'll go down to those introductions.
Number 3, Grace Henry. Number 4, Hayley Cornwall. Let's have a bit of noise out there, folks. Number 5, Charlie Spies. Number 6, Sophie Webber. Number 7, Kiara Mooney. Number 8, Abby Hickey. Number 9, Hannah Pollock. Number 10 is Ella Rayner. Number 11, Charlie Newman. Number 12 is Charlotte Hussain. Number 14, Caitlin Garrett. Number 15, Charlotte Childs. Number 16, Aaliyah Ord. Number 17, Aurora Jarvis. Number 18, Lauren Hanna. Number 19 is Sky Bell. Number 20, Ava Henville. 21, Isabella Velanotti. Number 22, Charlie Lehman. 23, Madigan Carroll. Number 24, Gemma Gorton. Number 25, Gabriella Green. Number 26 is Claire Spicknall. And 27, Addison Houselip. Well done. There are our junior women here for the Oceania Championships sprint distance, making their way down to the starting position.
So the girls now at Redders have gotten down to the starting line, which is on the beach. So I did notice yesterday the competitors were practicing this start with a quick run, getting that high leg lift, which is quite crucial to stand up, and away they went.
Yeah, look, it's a hard packed sand beach, and it's quite a long wade here in Devonport. So those athletes that have a surf life saving background have a little bit of an advantage getting off the beach. It's, as you can see, it's a mill pond today. It's perfectly flat. It's protected by that Mersey Bluff headland. Once they get out to the turning buoy, it will be a little bit choppier out of there when they get out of the protection of the headland, but it's a pretty still morning, so they're pretty lucky. We have got a forecast for rain to come later in the day for the elite race.
Yep.
Hopefully that holds off, but right now it's almost perfect conditions for our junior races.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be a big day here for triathlon, indeed, a huge weekend to celebrate the 40th anniversary of this wonderful event. They're in the starters' hands as we speak. All bit ready, they're down and good to go. And they're away. This is where it will be crucial. Just picking your line as well, Redders. That's where we found it was quite interesting watching yesterday, just understanding where you're going to swim. That's very tidal. Some yesterday decided to come a little bit to what was the right-hand side. Some went closer to the shore with a direct route around that first can. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. It's always exciting and interesting and slightly nerve-wracking at the start of a race, isn't it? There's flailing arms, but as you can see, they're well spread out already. You know, different lines being taken up.
There is. I hope they've got their sighting right.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're certainly splitting into two groups.
That. It is two groups.
So we should get a better view from our amazing footage from our drone. Just getting us where the first turning buoy is.
We have to say we've been so fortunate, and again, we hope that you do enjoy the coverage. We've got cameras out there on the boats. We've got it above the athletes to bring you every single angle, and they certainly be enjoying it in the boat there. Nice calm conditions. Young Ben Duffy, I believe, is out there on that camera. So there are the two groups, and you can see the can that they're going towards there, Redders.
Yeah, right at the top of the screen. I think that group on the inside, I think, has probably got the shortest line to it. Little bit close to the rocks on the reef there, but it's deep enough, it won't be an issue. And you don't really want to be in that group in the middle with those couple of single swimmers that are stuck without a streamline, without a position to sit on a hip or someone's feet.
Yeah, so wily old veteran like your very good self, you'd just be a bit of a predator. You'd just be settling in behind someone, let them doing all the hard yards.
For most of those people, Hoppy, I was hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, so there they go as they go up on the first section. Just absolutely magnificent views on the coastline here again for Devonport. Getting a nice bit of comfortable swim at the moment, just getting that rhythm. Always huge excitement. The heart starts to pump just that little bit. It's a little bit of a shock, especially some of these competitors who come from the northern parts. It's a little bit cooler in the water, but as you said, was over 20 odd degrees there, so nearly 21 degrees. So they'll be good as gold. The nerves will be out now, Redders. They got their rhythm going, as we can see, and just getting their heads up slightly to have a look where they have to go. And of course, when it comes to the first can, this is where they have to adjust and get that tight right hand turn around, as we can see here, just jockeying for position. It's a little bit tighter now, where it can be slightly uncomfortable here, where a little bit of bumping can come into it, but still got some clear water. You can't quite pick up who has that lead.
That swimmer that's on the inside line's got a beautiful line to that first buoy. Got clear water, has almost opened up a couple of body lengths now, so is clearing out. So they're moving beautiful shots of that. Lovely swim stroke, nice and long, nice rhythm.
Have a look here as they all come towards the can. Now, the leader.
That may well be Claire Spicknall.
also Infinite Nutrition.
Can't quite pick up that race number there.
We'll try and get that maybe from the boat shortly. You can see the athletes who are just in the middle, just getting bumped slightly, but now they're just trying to work out the line that they take for the next can, and on that last one's when they head back in. So they're swimming now parallel to the beach. We can see the vision from the boat there, a couple of 100 metres back towards the shore.
Don't want to get caught on that ropes of that buoy just to lose that precious seconds. Look, it's not panic stations in here. Like, there's some swimmers up the front, but as long as you can stay in contact with that main group,
yes,
there's no need to panic. You just need to make sure that, early in the race, as they say, Hoppy, you certainly can't win the race here, but you can certainly lose it. So
yeah, very much so.
You need to just not panic, try and stay in touch.
Yeah, it's all about just getting that rhythm. I've always sort of found that was the case whether you go out for a run or a swim, but especially in this. The heart does beat a little bit, faster when it's in a competitive environment. It's very different to being in a training swim when you've got people around you. You can train all you like, Redders, but there's something different when there's a couple of people swimming beside you. It's not a matter of if you can stop, because someone will swim over the top. So these young ladies are, and now you can see a very gentle swell. It's just very, very, very nice conditions, very calm conditions here at the moment.
Could not get in any better for the swim today. We had a perfect day for the World Para Series yesterday.
Yep.
Another great morning this morning. Hopefully the wind stays away for the junior men and the elite men and women later on this afternoon. But right now, our junior women have got a perfect condition.
You can see there, it goes a little bit up and down. Try and, if we can, zoom in there and get some numbers for you. But it's a very, very nice stroke at this stage. Coming around now, and these lead swimmers will turn and head straight in towards the shore. Probably even pick the pace up slightly. It's sometimes you just swim within yourself, Redders, but now once you know that you're turning in, you can probably get that kick up a little bit. So
I reckon I'm trying to pick up that number. I think it might be Kiara Mooney.
Yep.
From Australia that's leading that, or maybe Claire Spicknall. But if it is Kiara Mooney, she's trained by Jared Evans,
yes.
same one, part of the talent transfer program. So a couple of strong swimmers there. And you just see there, Hoppy, there's just a small gap opening. You've got three athletes with a couple of body lengths. Now, with the long run up the beach, that could open up very quickly, and they could have a lead pack of three.
Yes, that's where it gets interesting in these type of events, because when you move in from the swim to the bike, you can get some good distance, and like you just said, it's going to be crucial. It's almost like, we talk about the triathlon, there's the 3 events, but let's be clear, there's 4 because of the transition. But in this race, when there's actually a beach run, it's even like there's another little nuance to this particular race.
Yeah, you can certainly use that to your advantage, trying to make up ground or trying to extend your lead. So really, really important that the young ladies here try and extend whatever advantage they have when they touch the bottom.
Yes.
Very important you don't stand up too early for surf swimmers out there. You make sure you swim all the way through till your hand touches the bottom.
Yep.
Then you know it's shallow enough to stand up and start running.
So as we just heard, 21 degrees in the water. The clarity is just magnificent. The water's in and around Tasmania. I think did it look like number 7, I think. I think you're right, mate.
Kiara Mooney.
Kiara Mooney is in our lead. Tell you what, though, that gap's closing right up now. Look here.
No advantage for the wave back in. Not a single wave for the girl.
No.
They've got to swim the full 750 metres this morning.
And maybe I'm wrong. I think it might even be Grace Henry close up. But anyway, it'll all become apparent. Have a look at that. It's really, really tightened up. That is wonderful shots that we've got here, Redders, of these young ladies swimming in the clear, very warm waters of Devonport here in Tasmania.
Yes, the Bass Strait is on its best behaviour today.
It is indeed. It can be a little bit fickle. We know that for sure. But it's very, very nice. Good cloud cover as well this morning. It's been very hot, but nice cloud cover, which the athletes will enjoy when they get out and exert themselves on their 20-kilometre bike ride. So they're just about to probably get up and running in just a few moments. Those shots are slightly deceptive. They always look a little bit on top of each other, don't they? But we understood from our camera that was above that it showed us. There we are, and there is that shot, just giving us the distance between the athletes.
Just coming into what we would normally call the wave area.
Here they go now.
And standing up. A little duck dive there.
Yeah, just trying to get up and running, and there they go now. So the run is on.
So we've got 1, 2 on their feet and running. And as you can see, the gap opens up very quickly.
It does. Look at that. That's incredible, isn't it? All making some good ground up here as well.
So it is Kiara Mooney from Australia and the Queensland athlete there, Houslip, as well.
Yeah.
So Addison Houslip from Queensland as well. So they're 1, 2.
And Addison Houslip was very swift in the run there, Redders. So well done by her, and they're all out. Watson, Cornwell as well, Queensland and New Zealand respectively. They are, and here comes Henry towards that transition area. She'll put a gear there, of course. Make sure you put the helmet on, don't touch the bike, get the bike out onto the track and away.
Fantastic transition from Houslip.
Was indeed.
So she's away. Also Kiara Mooney. So just need to get their feet on top of their shoes, get up to speed. So there's 4, there's 5, 6, 7. Aspen Anderson, race favourite. She's beautiful mount from her, and she's up and running. I can see Claire Spicknall in that group as well. There's the Kiwi girls there as well. That is Hayley Cornwall as well. So we've got a Kiwi in that lead group.
So the girls are now all but out of the water, getting helmets on, quickly going, and away they go.
So they'll go up, just do a little short leg up to the eastern part of the course and do a U-turn, and then come back past transition on their way out to the North Street Hill.
Which is brilliant for us, because we're seeing just right in front of us is where the girls are just putting their feet inside the pedals, and then they'll be going past at a very fast clip.
Yep.
So it's great to see all the young ladies getting out of the water, just making sure they come out correctly of the transition area. A quick turn, and they're zooming past us at a very quick pace. There's Newman from Victoria. Peak Athletic Performance Group is where they train with. There's a good group.
So we've got a lead group of 4 and then a chase group of 3, which includes Aspen Anderson. We'll try and pick up who they are when they come through on their lap. It's 4 laps. They're doing their little chicane there and getting onto the Coles Beach Road and heading down to the notorious North Street Hill for the first time.
So it's a little bit just technical in the start, isn't it, Redders? Because you come out, it's a tight left. You get a little bit of momentum going. And then you've got a tight right-hand turn as you come back down the street. Sort of a bit of a chicane, and then you're on your way.
When they get to the hill, I mean, it's pretty hard. You can't get a run at it because you're basically you go over the train line.
That's right, over the train line.
Left-hand turn, and then you're straight into the hill, so you don't get a run up at it either, so it's a tough climb.
I always think it's quite funny, Redders, we see these absolutely beautiful shots of the coast, the beach, and all of a sudden these athletes, they're not looking at those sites, they're putting in very, very hard, aren't they? Just wonderful, wonderful visions as we speak. And we can see them now just starting to spread out. There's a pack working together. It's amazing the gap that starts to open up as soon as they get onto their bike.
Yeah, transition T1 is vitally important. You're going from the slowest leg to the fastest leg. You can lose a lot of ground. You can make up a lot of ground too. It's really important that these young athletes rehearse that part of their training to make it such a routine thing that they can do it efficiently, not necessarily the fastest, but the most efficient through T1.
Yeah, it is interesting because I actually noticed some of the young ladies early on this morning were just coming in, practicing getting the helmet on their heads and off, and then grabbing the bike. And you suddenly, for the uninitiated, you'd think, what the hell are they up to? But it is crucial that you practice these things. So it's a learned experience, so it becomes second nature to you. And you don't want to be fumbling around, as now we can see that one lone rider trying to catch up, and they'll try and get within a group to push on and get on the back of someone. So I'm sure in just a few moments we've got cameras on nearly every location around the course to bring you the best possible vision of this race.
Yeah, the girls should be pretty close to the North Street Hill now, so... And
Indeed.
as we speak, here we are.
Up they go, Redders.
First time.
So this is very, very deceptive. Let me tell you, when you are watching this, this is quite steep.
It is very steep, and it's sort of in two sections. There's a little bit of a reprieve halfway up, not much.
Yep.
But so it's sort of double dips. So 8 there in that lead group.
Here we go now.
So I can see Claire Spicknall in there.
Hayley Cornwell, I think I saw as well, Redders. But we'll...
And Houslip, and there's the Kiwi girls there as well.
Addison Houslip definitely is in there.
Hayley Cornwell from New Zealand.
Yeah, Claire Spicknall, with whom you had a lovely chat with. I think that was maybe also number 20, I think, Hinville.
So here we go. This is the Nerves of Steel here, Hoppy. They do a U-turn just here, and then they come screaming back down the hill. And I tell you what, it's pretty quick descent. So Nerves of Steel on this descent.
Very much so, as we can see just at that back there, Kiara Mooney keeping up there.
And that's the chase group coming up, just trying to get over the top of that hill as well.
It is, Nerves. That's a great shot. Now look at the grimace on the faces of the young ladies who are coming up this hill. That's a big effort. Now you can get a sense of it, Redders.
Yeah, look,
that is a big hill. Look,
it's incredibly important that you've got the right gearing, you've got the right, and you're in that gear before you get into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't want to be playing around through the climb. It's an easy way to drop a chain.
I was about to say that's the key, isn't it? If all of a sudden you're not, and wow, whoosh, down they go, and they'll get in that single file, get behind. It does test the nerves here, Redders, doesn't it? If you're prepared to how fast and how less braking you're going to do as it comes tight towards the corner.
Here they come, left-hand corner. Little tricky technical bit here. So it's a really fast left-hander and then basically a dead stop U-turn and then back around and on their way back to transition to complete their first lap.
Great to see Aurora Jarvis there from Victoria putting in. As well, I can just get a glance of Charlotte Childs from New Zealand. Again, hello and welcome to all our friends in New Zealand. We hope that you are enjoying the coverage. I think that was Pollock from Australia as well, just going hard in and around that particular corner. Excuse me. So now there is that tight turn.
Yeah, Hannah's sort of caught in no man's land there. She's got a pack behind her and the lead pack in front of her, and she's got to make a decision. Does she keep chasing, or does she sit up and wait for that pack to try and work together to get themselves back into the front of the race?
It is an interesting concept on this. She looks like she's having a bit of a crack. There's no doubt about that. This could be the potential for young Hannah Pollock, who, as you just alluded to, has just got a little bit of distance at the moment. Not a lot, of course, it's only early in the race.
We just saw
now they're speeding around.
Gabriella Green heading up on the hill. So these athletes come in. So their legs will be stinging. They've just done a hard swim. They've just done the first time up the hill. Now they've got to try and measure their doses and control themselves. Pack in front. They're not going to sit up and wait. They're going to push on.
Yeah, it's an interesting one here. It gets a little bit tight, and so I always hold my breath slightly, Redders, when they go around those tight corners. Yesterday we had one or two competitors just go a little bit wide there, which concerns me, but it's fantastic they are safely around. The good thing is, of course, most of the competitors, they would have been here to do their due diligence, to have a good ride on the course, as we seeing Bell go round there. She's around safely. And just putting in, you pick up the cadence here, put in those big ones, and away they go again. And I think that was Ali Ord as well, who is representing Victoria here at the Oceania Junior Australian Championships, coming to you live from Devonport in Tasmania.
And also, there's a lot riding on this race for the Aussie girls. I'm not 100% sure around the Kiwis, but certainly for the Aussie girls, there's a spot for the World Championship team up for grabs here.
Yep.
So if they finish in the top 3, first Aussie gets an automatic ticket to the World Championship. So a lot on line.
Yeah, they come now, Red. It's a big pack. I think that's Grace Henry just at the front, followed very, very closely. And there they go, Red, is right past us. Have a look at that. It's really interesting because having to watch on the vision here, but then when you actually see them go past, that is very, very fast.
Yeah, so just in that lead pack, just to get a check, we've got Grace Henry from Australia, Addison Houslip from Australia, Hayley Cornwall from New Zealand, Ava Henville from Australia, Aspen Anderson from Australia, Kira Mooney from Australia, and Claire Spicknall, and along with Sophie Webber from New Zealand as well. So 2 Kiwis and 6 Aussies in that lead group.
Yep, there they go. So what are they, nearly 20-odd minutes into the race, and they're going very, very nicely indeed. So they're onto their second lap in the bike, as we can see them just going. So look, there they go, just looking over the shoulder, wondering if they want to come with me. Is anyone prepared to push on? They seem comfortable to stay in that group at the moment, Redders, I think.
Yeah, chase group's around 21 to 22 seconds behind.
Yes.
That's actually Hannah Pollock, who's caught in no man's land. She's coached by Toby Coote up there on the Sunshine Coast. And then we're back at 20:03. So there's about a 30-second gap between the first pack and the chase pack, with Hannah Pollock caught right in the middle.
Yeah, they've just gone past us there now. Not a lot of distance between those, but it's already shaping up to be a little bit of a race, probably within that front pack, Redders, would you say?
Yeah, look, 30 seconds is not too hard to get to, but if Hannah Pollock is a very capable rider, so she might be able to bridge across and make it a pack of 9.
Yep.
But otherwise, they're going to be here.
Yep. So there they go now as they head out. And they know what's in front of them now, don't they? They once you've done one lap, you can get a sense, can I go harder up that hill? Maybe can I go faster? Can I brake later? All those things are going through your head, and especially now. So what is there? There's the four laps. When is it? Do I think I'm going to make my move? How am I feeling today? There are so many variables in a triathlon, how you're feeling on the day.
It's certainly... This course can impact your run because the hill is quite intense. So
yes,
measuring your energy dose up there to be able to, so it doesn't impact your run as much, is really important. So if you're a stronger runner in that pack, you may be happy to just sit in and back your run. If you're worried about some of the runners in there, well, you're going to try and have a breakaway and try and hurt them as much as you can on the climb.
It is racing conditions. There's no doubt about that. So it's very, very different. This is where the psychology of the sport comes into it, Redders, doesn't it? You know, you can maybe overthink things sometimes as well, and the paralysis can almost set in. So it's a matter of having a clear plan and then being able to adjust it on the day, thinking, oh yes, if this happens, I'm going to do A, B, C. So to probably have that clear visualization and a game plan, and being able to adapt at the time and just staying calm, I guess that's the key.
Yeah, look, it's simple. If you're in the lead group, you've got to make decisions about that. But if you're behind, there's no decision to make.
Yeah, you're right there, mate.
You've just
right.
got to drive, because you've got to get yourself into the event.
Correct.
So here they go again for number 2 up the hill. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're still a pack of 8 there.
Yeah, so Henry, Houslip, Cornwall, Henville, Anderson, and Spicknall, I think there, and Webber, the group that we've got right there. So,
and we can just see in the background Hannah Pollock. It can be quite demoralising. You're working so hard up the hill and you're seeing the people up the road go flying down the other side while you're still climbing up. So Hannah Pollock is certainly caught in no man's land there with the chase pack behind.
Yeah, just trying to hang on there, Redders.
Addison Houslip is just trying to hang on to the back of that. If she can hang on, that's a great view of the lead pack, the chase pack of 4. And we're just trying to pick up who's in that chase pack of 4. I think it's Charlotte Childs from New Zealand, Gwen Watson from Australia, Caitlin Garrett and Ella Rayner from Australia in that chase pack of 4.
So they're coming up and working really, really hard as we just see Gwen Watson there right in front of us, and she's come alongside is Caitlin Garrett.
So Charlotte Childs from New Zealand is just dropping off that group. She needs to try and just surge over the top of that hill. It's where you've got to push the most as the lead pack comes screaming down.
What sort of speeds do you reckon they'd be heading down there, Redders?
Oh, easily hitting into the 70, 80 kilometres for those.
And I tell you what,
especially for when the elite men come around. Later on this afternoon.
Well, it does take a lot of courage, because when you've only got a pair of bathers or a tri-suit to protect you, talking from experience from an old man who used to race in his budgie smugglers, there's not a lot when you hit the tarmac. I don't want to put the mockers on, because these young ladies are honed athletes, very experienced already on the bike. So you can see there just a quick glance over.
Well, Claire Spicknall is certainly spending a lot of time on the front. She's stretching them out and making them hurt. So she's certainly got that very strong traditional surf life saving swim bike combination. And
Retta, she said that she would love to make a mark, because a lot of very famous Australian triathletes had their wins down here and cut their teeth over the last 40 years at the Devonport Triathlon. It is the Oceania Junior Australian Championships. It's all part of the Devonport Triathlon Carnival weekend.
Yeah, it was fantastic racing yesterday with seeing our very own Lauren Parker win the gold medal in the wheelchair, and superstars like visually impaired Susanna Rodriguez taking two-time Paralympic gold medalist in Tokyo and Paris to come down to Devonport and take the gold medal here. So looks like our Kiwi competitor's fallen off this pack there, Sir Charles. So these 3 Aussies are still chasing. She really needs to get back into that group, as our Ord and also Newman coming up the hill as well.
Yeah,
for the second time.
That was Charlie Newman. Had a bit of a chat to her mum and dad beforehand, because she's on the bottom age. She's only a very young lady at 16 and had 1 or 2 little injuries, and so she's looking forward to getting back into racing here today, and they're having a great time down here in Tasmania.
Yeah, just saw Charlotte Hussein from Queensland going through there as well. Look, it's very hard. Look, the age category 16 to 19, there's a lot of the athletes are at different development stages. Coming down here as young in that age group, it is a tough race. The older, stronger girls and boys tend to dominate a little bit. It's just mattering about learning from it, coming back. It was interesting listening to Brendan Sexton last night.
Yes.
When he's won here at Devonport in the elite race, but he talked about the very first time he came down here, he got lapped out.
Yeah, there you go.
Very first race as a pro, and he got lapped out. And he got better, worked, and he finally won the race here. So it's a good learning curve. This age group, it's all about making mistakes and learning from them and being better.
Yep. I love stories like that. A young fella who used to live down my way on patrolling my beach, Matt Bevlacqua. He was always getting beaten at everything he did in surf, and here he is. He's winning everything on the national stage.
Yeah. So 2 laps down, halfway, 10k down on the bike, 10k to go. Led through by the Kiwi Hayley Cornwall.
She looks strong.
She's riding very, very well. Traditionally, we always have strong cyclists from New Zealand.
Yeah, that's Hayley. I had a bit of a chat to. She as she said to me, Redders, and I think I mentioned, this town reminds her very much of where she's from. She was enjoying her stay here, and she seemed very focused, and she's just, when I saw her close up, she's breathing very nicely, just sitting in there now. Let's have a look.
So this is Aspen Anderson from Queensland. She's gone to the front.
Interesting.
She's seen enough.
Interesting.
Race favourite. So she's pushing the lead there and just stringing that group out, having that concertina effect going around the U-turn. Don't really want to be at the back of that pack when you go around those corners. You've just got to expend so much more energy and generate so much more power to get back on.
It was an interesting move. I'm not sure who the athlete was. They were coming 7th and then really pushed hard to get on the inside and make some distance up there to try and get on the front of that group. As we're seeing, I think just there it was Kiara Mooney pushing pretty hard to come round the corner.
So she's lost contact with that group.
There's our lead group, Redders. Single file, just pushing hard now.
So we're down to 7.
So we dropped off 1.
Well, I think we've dropped off Kiara Mooney. So
let's have a look if we can see that.
And
yeah, she has. So Kiara Mooney has dropped off that group. Only by looking at this, about 25 seconds.
Yeah, so
which is reasonably significant.
Yeah, so in that lead group, we've got Hayley Cornwall from New Zealand, Aspen Anderson from Australia, Ava Henville and Claire Spicknall, Sophie Webber from New Zealand, and Addison Houslip is there as well, along with Grace Henry from Australia. And Kiara Mooney, 25 seconds back at the end of the second lap of the bike.
So they are on lap 3 of 4 in the Oceania Junior Australian Championships here. Oh, sorry, I apologise, because this is the Oceania and the Australian Championships, which is later today. Brilliant racing so far. It's 20 kilometres in this race, and then of course they jump off and they head out for the 5 kilometre run, which of course is 2 laps. There we see the part of the, dare we say it, easier section of the race where it's nice and straight and flat, because there's a few there. There is Jarvis from Victoria. A bit red round the old gills there. That is pretty hard work to come up that hill. It's a wonderful experience for the young ladies to be here in Devonport today. Yeah, like you said before, Redders, no matter where you come, and that's the thing, it's some of the kids are just turning 16, some are 19. We know from experience of being dear old dads, the development of children around that time, it can happen quickly or later. So again, it is all wonderful experience as here comes the hill. Up they go. Just interested to see if there will be an attempt on a break.
Yeah, from this vision, looks like Claire Spicknall is going hard up the hill again, leading the pack up on the outside.
Here she goes.
She's not going to die wondering, is she?
I like the focus on her face. It doesn't change her expression. Just see a sneaky little glance to her right to see if anyone's coming.
Addison Houslip is moving to the front now.
Yes, she is.
Making a little move over the top of the hill.
Oh, that was good.
Big power move there.
Now, from your experience, when you're seeing those faces, can you see anything yet, Redders?
I don't think there's not much you can hide. You do have to suffer on this hill, and everyone's suffering equally.
I don't know, mate. Hayley Cornwall from New Zealand, she just doesn't seem to be puffing or blowing. And I don't know, there just seems to be a calmness any time the vision's gone close to her. Whereas some of the other girls' eyes are darting. I know that's a nothing, but I like the way she's going about it so far, as there is Hannah Pollock coming to the top, and also pushing hard is Kiara Mooney, who just dropped off that from that main pack a few minutes ago.
And there's the girls going back down the other side.
Down they go. That's Webber from New Zealand. It's interesting, isn't it? So when you this was definitely more me, Redders. I was coming up the hills when the fast ones like your very good self were coming down. You'd grit your teeth here and push up.
I can assure you I was much faster going down.
And here they go. So I think that might be Ella Rayner as she goes round and back to this lead pack.
Far bike course, so 1.5 laps to go.
Spicknall. She really wants to all but send a message to say, you've got to work hard to get past me.
She's certainly very happy to go to the front on the descent, so good signs. So coached by living in Wollongong area, but coached by Jared Evans, who's a long time outstanding coach. He's coached many athletes over many years. Had a based in Geelong,
yes,
but, in Melbourne now, but had a stint running the development program for the USA Triathlon as well when they're in CDRAA program.
Pushing up the hill, I think I can get a glance. There is Charlie Lehman, who was just coming up the side and come down to that little technical area where we've got to slow down, get round there, and then push hard, just like Hannah Pollock did on that particular corner. I think Woolley just coming back around.
Seeing many of the coaches tend to make a beeline for that hill to watch the athletes ride up and check their techniques.
There is Jarvis from Victoria. Just trying to do the hard yards to come in and around before you make that descent. You can see there that aerodynamic is key. Just anything to get a slight advantage, Redders, isn't there in this? It's if you can do that, why not? You know, equipment can play a big part. Technique is another thing, and that's why these young ladies will be honing their craft, practicing. This is the start of what they would like to think is a bright future in the sport. It's a wonderful sport, triathlon. Very much a global sport now. Of course, Australia was preeminent. Now a lot of the main athletes seem to come from the European countries, Redders. It used to be sort of dominated, I think, in these early stages probably by the Americans and the Australians, but now it's very global.
Yeah, well, and in fact the Kiwis as well won many gold medals
absolutely
at the Olympic level. But yeah, look, I think the lifestyle of Australians and Kiwis with surf life saving background in the early years lent to an easy transition to triathlon. But now that it's a truly world sport, it's dominated by the Brits and the French, and they're incredible athletes, and you basically need Olympic level swimmers and cyclists and runners. So
there they go as they just come past the commentary tower and straight past us. So we're perched just behind the finishing line, and so we can see the riders going out, and they'll come past us again in just a few seconds, and we'll see the same thing. And here's that reasonably tight little turn. It's good that they've got that extra bit of road there, Reddit, so they can go a little bit faster and not be concerned with any tapping of any gutters. And this is where they really can get a bit of momentum. There's a little bit of a hump there, and there is that finishing line. Our tent's just there. We've got great coverage of it. So another ridge. There's a couple of those in the road. They can still go with great pace past that. They're just going nicely together. There's a lot of trust when you're riding those packs.
Yeah, so the two Kiwi girls are just sitting very comfortably on the back there, getting themselves. Look, they've just got to make sure they can get up over that hill one more time and get themselves in the race and see who's got the best run legs. It is a tough course. It is a tough course to run a fast run off because of the bike.
Yes.
So the people that love more of a strength run are going to try and push the pace on the bike here. A little gap opening up.
I was going to say a little bit. I think each time I, think there's a little bit of a gap. No, look, they're closing it up. They're doing so again as we glance down in, into that lead group. It's Addison Houslip, Aspen Anderson, Grace Henry, Claire Spicknall, Ava Henville, and what have we got here? Hayley Cornwell. and Sophie Webber still up in that lead group, Redders.
Yeah, and look, it's they've got almost a minute over the chase pack now of Hannah Pollock, and then another 30 seconds back to Caitlin Garrett and Ella Rayner and Kira Mooney, and then another 10 seconds back to Charlotte Giles from New Zealand. That's our sort of top 10.
Yeah, but we would suspect that we're probably going to get the podium from that lead group. Whether anyone is prepared to make an assault on that hill, we do know that Claire Spicknall was very, very keen to try and lead the girls up there, so it's going to be fascinating to see if indeed she will have a crack again at the big hill.
And we're getting some feedback from some of the spotters out on the course and a couple of the coaches that it's actually perfect for cycling. There's absolutely no wind out there at the moment, so there's no impediment on the way out or way back.
Which, unlike yesterday, we did get a bit of a headwind, but it's perfect conditions. Well, that's what you'd expect in Tasmania, Redders. It's always beautiful, but we like to keep it a secret. You and I, we quite like the smaller community, the 560 people. So if you are watching, don't tell anyone how gorgeous Tasmania is. Come down and have a bit of a look. But if you'd like to come and live here, maybe you can come and talk to my very good self or Redders. We'll do an interview and see if you pass the mustard. If you're prepared to be part of our community, we welcome everybody. It's a lovely part of the world in which to live. So there we can see Lauren Hannah working very, very hard, and it's so great to see out on the course as we were here a little bit earlier. There was a good crowd sort of building in the city, and that will probably only increase, I reckon, Redders, as the day goes on. It's a very, very big day, and of course we've got another race that starts at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We can't guarantee that the conditions will be as pleasant as this. No. That's the luck of the draw. It's always nice, I always found, of course, when the triathlon starts nice and early in the morning. Traditionally it's calmer conditions, and there they go, and it does look like Spicknall has gone to the front again, issuing the challenge.
Yeah, she's riding very strongly.
There's Hayley Cornwell though. She's just nice and relaxed.
These young ladies are going to be very happy to get over the top of this hill for the last time and set themselves up for the run. They're very similar play there with Claire Spicknall driving up, and then Houslip.
Yep. And I just noticed there, you can see Sophie Webber. She just decided, no one's getting away from me. She put in a couple of bigger ones there, and she's just tacked straight on the back. Have a look at that. Bit of a change there as Houslip decided just to nip past her. It's almost like Claire has done all the hard yards that first section, and then they just go on that undulation, if you like.
And you can see all the coaching staff and support staff are all now making the beeline to try and get back to transition for the run course. And they are coming screaming back down that hill. And
it's also Aspen Anderson who just slipped into second position there, Redders.
Yep. So they're riding very strong. They're doing a great job.
Down they go.
So five Aussies, 2 Kiwis. The Trans-Tasman rivalry is
brilliant. It's great to see. It's lovely to see. And again, welcome to our friends from New Zealand. A couple of young ladies are doing very, very nicely. There we go now. Spicknall. They're just swapping those positions. And this is where they probably might decide, let's try and have a little bit of a crack. If we can get off first and get out into the run, that's what we'd like to do. Just got to concentrate completely on the cycling here, Redders. Don't start thinking too much about the run yet, because that's when mistakes can be made.
They've still got about 2 kilometres to go here, so just try and get good position. It's actually, you've got to really rehearse it here, because it is quite a little tricky course, because as you come in, you've got the chicane where you, and then you've got to jump off your bike, and then you've got a sort of a hard left into transition. So you've got to make a decision. Are you going to take your feet out of your shoes before the chicane or after the chicane? It can make a big difference whether you're getting that, opening up a winning lead out of T2.
Yeah, that all comes down to that practicing, that rehearsal, and just keeping it clear in your mind what it is you are trying to achieve, and don't panic at all. Great learning experiences for these young athletes, as we can see pushing down there. That was Hannah Pollock. She was right up with the pointy end early on.
Yeah, couldn't quite get onto that lead group, so just missed it. And you can see Hannah's a very strong cyclist, but riding against 8 or 9 others that are committed and riding hard is very, very hard to pull
Yeah, it
that
seemed
back.
like a pretty good pace there. So far, what are we, 36 odd minutes into the race, as we're following Hannah coming around here. She'll take that left-hand turn, and it won't be far away, and those riders will be pushing into the transition area, ready to get off their bikes and into the run.
And don't forget our junior men will kick off at 11:15 Australian Standard Summertime. So
it's a big day for our viewers out there, Redders.
Just over an hour away. So
now's the time you'd be concentrating on the young ladies, then maybe a quick cup of tea between the boys, and then you think, okay, go and have a quick sanger between the next race when the ladies come out, and then the men later, maybe it's time for an afternoon glass of wine to watch the last race, Redders. It's a great day of triathlon here. We hope you're going to enjoy all the vision that we're bringing through. I think that was Gwen Watson who went around somewhat swiftly trying to gain valuable seconds to catch up to that run.
Yeah, we shouldn't be too far away from our competitors.
Here they are.
So perfect. So transition.
Here they go, Redders, they're off.
And Aspen Anderson is leading them into transition. Fantastic positioning. Well rehearsed, got herself into the position, and look at the gap she's opened up already. And that just, we've got to spill the New Zealand athletes.
That was Hayley Cornwall. She had a challenge just a few minutes ago. She's been so calm. I hope that doesn't put her off. So it is. Anderson, of course, is the current champ, Redders. Yeah. She's got herself into the number 1 position here. She's bike is mounted. Just make sure that you probably brush your feet slightly. The last thing you want to do here, Redders, is pick up a pebble or something in your shoes. No. Just quickly brush your feet. Shoes slip on.
Shoes. And just getting Aspen Anderson is leading out. That is a slick transition. So she's got them straight at the dismount, smooth in, smooth out, running with great form, and she's opened up a massive gap. We'll try and get a time gap on that.
That's Claire Spicknall, I think, in second position, Redders.
And then, so Aspen Anderson was first out, Claire Spicknall was second, Ava Henville was out in third, Grace Henry, and then Sophie Webber, Hayley Cornwall, and Addison Houseslip were the positions out of transition.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for Hayley Cornwall there. Just had two little hiccups on the bike that just slipped out. So
and probably held up the rest of the group too coming in.
It did. It probably aided Aspen Anderson at the front of the course, didn't it?
But that just goes to show you really want to make sure that you get towards the front off the bike so you can avoid those sort of incidents.
So I think it was about 6 seconds between first and second, then a couple of seconds back. And if you're watching, you think that's only a seconds, but have a look. That's what it means.
Yeah, so great view there. Hannah Pollock just coming into transition as well before. So that's a great view of the gap there. Here's Hannah coming in. And back to our leaders. So Aspen Anderson is away. So
she's running well.
2 laps of this 5 kilometre running course. Beautiful flat surface. It's a very fast run.
She looks nice and relaxed, doesn't she?
Absolutely no wind, perfect conditions, cool.
Yeah, it is.
We expect fast times here, but don't underestimate how much the 4 times up North Street Hill has been stinging their legs as well.
She'll love it when she gets to the turn because all of a sudden she comes back and she'll glance back and she'll look at Claire Spicknall right in the eye and she almost challenge her. I've got you. Can I keep going? It's a fascinating thing on those turns.
Yeah, so right now that's our top 3 athletes there.
There they go.
So it's Aspen Anderson, Claire Spicknall and Ava Henville.
Yes, and just then back to Henry Webber and Cornwell.
And this is Gwen Watson heading out as well.
You can see there's plenty of enthusiasm. You might just hear in our effects, Mike, it's great to hear people shouting encouragement, which is always the course. Great work, you can do it, you're doing a great job. And away they go on to the run.
Beautiful running style there from Aspen, and it looks like just in the background there we could see Ava Henfield just coming up onto the back of Claire Spicknall there. So they're having a great battle. Hey, look, and they're not out of touch either.
Oh, no.
A lot can happen. They're only about just under a kilometre into the run.
Finding their rhythm, and they certainly did get up into a rhythm, and good cadence, nice movement, very relaxed. I love that running style. Looks very, very comfortable. You can see furrowed brow, concentration, moving nicely.
Certainly a very accomplished athlete, Aspen. Lives in the Gold Coast in Queensland. Cam Anderson was a very handy junior and elite triathlete in his day as well, so comes from good stock.
Well, if she's probably been doing a fair bit of indoor training of late, then I would have thought Redders, and because of the amount of rain that they've had up that way, as you can see a few more coming in. Houston from Australia, or from New South Wales there, just about to rack the bike and get out into the run. Great vision there of our runners trying to bunch up, and it's all to be done to try and catch Aspen Anderson, the reigning champion, and at the moment she's making every post a winner.
There's Gemma Gorton from WA is coming in off the bike as well.
She'll be coming in and looking forward to getting on the run, as all the runners are coming past the commentary area where we are, and
there we are.
And here she is now.
So she gets a look at who's coming, who's looking good, who's not.
Yep.
So Aspen is at the far turnaround, so 1.25k down.
And then heading back in. We can see running very nicely now. Good rhythm. What is it like to be at the front like this, Redders, on your own, and knowing you've got some fantastic runners behind you? It's just a matter of trying to switch off and relax and get your rhythm and not be too disturbed about it. The good thing I would have thought, though, on these courses, when you go around the corner, just the occasional glance to make sure that, yep, I think that this will maintain that lead.
Yeah, look, I think it's very mental. You're running as hard as you can, but still having that little bit in reserve to be able to control your effort, and just having the target on your back's not a great feeling. But if you're in control of your run and you're feeling strong, and you can see where the other competitors are, it can really motivate you to run well. And look, she's moving well. She's got nice arm carriage, a good turnover. She's not looking too athlete. Houslip is moving very well as well.
Yeah, Houslip moved up into 4th position. Grace Henry is in 5th there. Hayley Cornwell from New Zealand I hope that bike incident didn't upset her all. She looked very relaxed. There she is now. She's moving nicely, running well as she's coming down to the turn. She goes back around it, and she'll head out for her last lap as well. So 2.5 kilometres for her to go. But here we are back to our leader, which is Aspen Anderson, and looks very comfortable indeed, Redders.
Yeah, so what have we got? We've got Aspen in first currently, Claire Spicknall in second, Ava Henville in third, Addison Houslip is in fourth. She's about 10 seconds out of the bronze medal position. Hayley Cornwall is in fifth, and she's around 40 seconds behind fourth place. And then Sophie Webber, the other Kiwi, in sixth place at the moment.
So by looking at it, Redders, it's about a 22-second gap between second and third are sort of neck and neck. So I dare say if they can't get up to Aspen, Claire and Ava will have to have a little bit of a burst of energy to see who stands a little bit higher on the podium.
Yeah. lot of mental games now. You're in that sort of three-quarter part of the run now. You're just pushing hard, trying to get down to that far turnaround so that you can sort of cruise home if you can do the work through this third leg.
Yeah, she looks very comfortable at this stage. 20 seconds in this form of race, 22 seconds, I apologise, as we can see Garrett going around the corner there for her effort right in front of us. Again, wonderful encouragement around the start-finishing line. There's quite a lot of people aligning the running track.
And she's moving away from second and third. She's moving very, very well. Really controlled race, really controlled that first lap of the run, and now turning on the afterburners. And here's a great battle with all these athletes here. Valenotti from Queensland leading them around. And some Queenslanders and another Western Australian. It's great to see our Western Australian athletes. It's a long trip.
I was going to say, it is a long trip over there, Redders.
Nearly as far as our Kiwis.
I'd suggest it's further, isn't it? Very much so. It's funny, actually, when you go overseas and you think to yourself, you're three or so hours into the flight, where am I? And you're still in Western Australia. A pretty big country. It's fascinating to watch all the different running styles going along here, and there is young Madigan Carroll, who has the Victorian outfit on, just goes around the far turn on her first lap, working hard to get onto the second. But at the moment it is Aspen Anderson who has a lead from Claire Spicknall and Ava Henry, and really at this stage, it would suggest, although there's a 9-second back, but those ladies potentially might make up the podium. It's just a matter of which position, but at the moment Anderson is looking very, very comfortable.
Yeah, she's looking strong. There's Daylight second. There they are in the background. Claire Spicknall and Ava Henville from WA.
Have a look at that. They're arm
this
in arm.
This is going to be a very, very interesting finish for bronze, silver and bronze for these two young ladies.
Yeah, we can see
Gabriella Green, but she's a lap down. So fourth place is.
But that's
Addison Houslip is just coming up behind.
She's working well.
She's running well.
She's running really well. Maybe she sees that she might be a sneaky chance to get up, because if these two start to sort of jockey, they'll see how close she is now, though, Redders.
Yeah, really important that these two don't start backing off for a sprint, because Houslip will be back onto them very quickly.
Oh, look at her. She looks pretty determined.
Looks like she's
got the pace up, too.
She's got a second win. She's coming home at a rate of knots. So this could be very, very interesting. I think the gold medal's gone, bar any touch wood that Addison's got this in the bag, but certainly the second and third medals are up for grabs.
So there is Aspen Anderson running very nicely.
Lovely big smile.
A bit of a smile there, Redders.
Yes,
seeming very comfortable.
She's feeling good, and she's on her way to her Oceania Championship title. More importantly, automatic ticket into the World Championships here in Wollongong later in the year. Nothing better than a home World Championships.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than a home Olympics in 2032.
Wow. And this is the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, look, Aspen Anderson is in that age bracket that she could well be the athlete that goes to Brisbane if she's.
It'd be so motivating for a group of athletes around the country, no matter, let's be concentrating the triathlon. This would be hugely at the back of their mind. It could be a long way off, but that you need those dreams, aspirations, don't you? Very much so.
It would, and especially Aspen growing up on the Gold Coast. Brisbane Olympics the hometown race it'll be. So
yep.
I'd imagine that would be front and centre for this young lady.
So now, working hard, very relaxed, very comfortable within herself. Coming down now, it's must be such a pleasurable thing. I must admit, Redders, I haven't had the good grace to be cantering down to a finishing line, but I have been in races where I felt very it's a lovely feeling, and she's just moving beautifully. In fact, I think she's just almost picking up the pace.
Yes.
Look at that, which is wonderful from her. Increased the lead just slightly be interested to see the gap, but it's going to be close or interesting in a minute when we go back, excuse me, to Claire Spicknall, Ava Henry, and potentially Addison Houslip. That is really bunching up.
Yeah, well, she's only probably about 400 metres away now from the finish, so she's moving really, really well.
I know that vision's coming to us, which is brilliant, on the back of the bike, and I reckon that bike's gear would be up to keep up with her, just quietly to stay in front.
Here's a good vision here of the athletes coming through. You can see Anderson in the middle of the screen where the motorbike camera is.
Yep.
Coming up to lap some runners.
So not far away now, Redders, as she'll take a little right turn and enjoy running down the blue carpet. That's just about to happen for her very, very shortly. There it is, just right there, as she'll just shimmy to the right and then run down towards the finish. So it's a great effort there by Aspen, and very controlled with in the leader group, wasn't she, in that riding group?
Yeah, always in that group. And here she comes down onto the blue carpet. Not a better feeling in sport.
It is good, and she is going to come across, and she is going to be back-to-back victory in the Oceania Junior Championships. Wouldn't blow a candle out. Just magnificent. Well done to our winner, Aspen Anderson. She's going to get a drink now.
Now it's going
well
to be
done.
very.
Now let's have a look.
What's going on? Who's we got coming up the podium? Up the finishing straight now.
Oh, I think that's Claire Spicknall.
Has she got in the way, has she?
Yep.
It is. Claire Spicknall takes the silver medal here in Devonport. Fantastic for her. That's a great result. And all the way from WA, Ava Henville will take the bronze. Fantastic from Ava as well. So gold medal to Aspen Anderson. Claire Spicknall takes the silver. Ava Henville with a bronze. And then Addison Houslip into fourth.
Yeah, you can see they've given everything as they have crossed the line. Terrific performance by these young ladies. Well, there's no doubt about it. Claire Spicknall, when she spoke to you, she sort of suggested that she wanted to make an impression, and she certainly has. She did a great job, but Aspen Anderson was just terrific in today's event, crossing the line as victor again in the Oceania Junior Champion. It was very controlled, wasn't it? She was in the pack. I have to say hats off to Claire Spicknall, who really pushed hard up that hill, trying to almost get that break, and all of a sudden Anderson was just very, very controlled.
Yeah, fantastic race. She really, really controlled that race, had a good swim, didn't panic in the bike, just did what she had to do, rode great position the entire bike ride, and then, wow, she made the move before T1, got the bike position into T1, out quickly, and then the race was over. So fantastic effort from them. Great view of our medalists there.
Yeah, this is where the camaraderie comes in. But Redders, I'll keep calling this. I know that you're going to go out and grab some of the competitors and have a bit of a tete-a-tete, which you'll very much enjoy. So they're getting all the photos there, but they'll be smiling even more when Craig Redmond comes out and has a bit of a chat to them. I loved the scenes there. It was a great performance by those young ladies. So Aspen Anderson was our victor. Claire Spicknall was second, and in third position was Ava Henville. So Spicknall was able to just put a little bit of an acceleration on that on the run. So congratulations to her, but there are still plenty of competitors. There we go. You can see a very, very happy young lady as she came across the line to take that victory from in this race. Well done to her in a time of 1:02.53, as you can, or 51 was the official time. Let's have a little bit of a look there then. Anderson, Hayley Cornwell crossed the line next for Hannah Pollock, Sophie Webber, and Caitlin Garrett as well. So well done by them. And then still out on course, I think is Grace Henry there, was Webber, who came in 7th position. did a great job. You can see all these other, who's crossed there? That's Valentino from Australia. Just getting a little bit of a drink there. We can see all these young ladies. Garrett in the Queensland outfits. Charlie Spies, Ella Rayner, just out still running very hard. Quick and keen. It's pretty warm still here. Cloud cover's good. As Craig Redmond said a few minutes ago, it's very, very still down there. I know in a few moments we'll cross to him. So we're 107 minutes in as these other competitors. It doesn't seem long, just a couple of minutes difference between victory and not. And you can see everything has been spent there to Grace Henry as she crossed the line. We know it's a very, very hard bike ride here in this race, which also lends itself to make it quite a challenging run. So now we are just about to go to Craig Redmond in a few minutes, but it is some of the competitors still coming over the line, running hard down towards the finishing. This is, I think, Hickey as well. Well done, of course, representing Victoria. A nice run by her. That's Abby Hickey, and she has crossed the line now. So now we're crossing to Craig Redmond to have a chat to the victor.
Gold medal today, Oceania champs, defending champion. How was your race today?
I was really happy. I put a quite full race together. I think I had a strong swim and we got the girls moving on the bike, which was really nice. The hill 4 times was a bit of a sting, but we got it done and I really liked the run, so I just worked into my strengths there. Yeah, look, you really controlled that. You're where you needed to be in the water. You controlled the bike, but what was really impressive was coming into T2 to really get yourself out onto the run course early. Yeah, I'm really happy with my T2s. I normally have a good T2 get out nice and fast, and I feel like it just sets up a good run when you're out in some free space. So I had a really good T2 and had, I think, about 50 metres there, so then I just kept calm and kept working on that gap. So this punched your ticket for the World Championships later on in the year in Wollongong. How do you feel about that? I'm really happy. It's a home championships, which is really rare, and a bit of redemption from last year. I didn't have what I dreamed to have at Worlds, so I'm hoping a bit of home ground advantage will help me. Yeah. Now, I did see your dad running around the course. I have seen him race here in Devonport in his youth. What sort of advice was he giving you about Devonport? Oh, just go out there and have fun. You always have a better race when you're having fun and enjoy what you're doing. So yeah, he just says rip in. Fantastic. Congratulations and good luck for later in the year. Thank you so much.
Well, there we see a very, very happy athlete, as we heard from her with Craig Redmond. Absolutely thrilled, and I'm sure she'll be very much in love with Tasmania after that one. She'll like this course, as we can see there. Plenty more competitors coming across the line here. Well done from all of these young ladies. Of course, as we said just a few minutes, that was Lauren Hanna who's come across the line. The competitors stretch out from 16 right up to 19, so it's varied in the age. And so some are in the bottom edge, some are at the top edge of the junior rankings. And so we are now also going to go back as well to talk to Redders, and I think he's got some more competitors there to talk with.
Claire Spicknall, silver medal today in Devonport. Now, we had a chat before the race and you told us what you wanted to do and make a mark on this race. How did it go?
Oh, I think I didn't really think I was going to get there right until the last 300 metres or so. And even then, if you come second but you're not within a certain time frame of the leader, you don't auto-qualify. So I was really pushing it all the way to the line. And I'm just relieved that I made it.
So amazing job. So you've punched your ticket to go to the World Championships on the Australian junior team for Wollongong later in the year. How does that feel to potentially be on your first ever Australian junior triathlon team?
Oh, it's unreal. I mean, before the race, I was so nervous. I vomited before the race, which has never happened. And I think my swim was a bit shaky. And after the bike and the run, I just kind of worked into it. And I think leading into Wollongong, the run course is really hilly and the ride is going to be quite hilly. So I think it was interesting that we got to do a hilly course as well today.
So how did you find that hill going up at 4 times?
Oh, I mean, it was 4 max hill sprints really, with some like riding in between. I think each hill I may have pushed it a bit too hard on each hill, and on the downhills I made sure I was at the front going into that left-hand turn. But it's really fun. I mean, you get to push your body so hard, and it's nice to have a reward.
Yeah, we certainly saw that. You were riding great position on that descent. I'm sure that's coaching technique coming from Jared Evans. So, look, congratulations. Good luck for the rest of the year, and we hope to see you in Wollongong.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, there we go. So that was Claire Spicknall, who came across with the silver medal here in the Oceania Junior Championships in Devonport. Perfect conditions here for triathlon. It is a wonderful weekend here in Devonport. The whole community get behind this event. It has been a tradition in Tasmania for 40 years, which is absolutely wonderful. And I think working here, this might be even Sky Bell running pretty hard towards that finishing line and crosses over indeed. Well done, young lady. A good performance by her. Terrific work. And it is also, now we are going back again. Retta's with some more interviews with some other athletes.
Ava Henville, all the way from WA, bronze medal at the Oceania Junior Championships today. How did you feel about your race?
I'm pretty happy. I thought I had a really good swim. It was very difficult. The waves were quite big and very cold. And then I just tried to hang with the group on the bike. The hill definitely makes it quite a challenge, and trying to do it 4 times as well. And then the run, I was really just trying to hold on, and God, it was very hard, but I'm pretty happy overall.
Yeah, look, you had a good run. We saw you move up onto Claire and hang on to Claire there late in the run, having that fight for the silver and the bronze medal. Couldn't quite hang on at the back end of the run.
Yeah, nah, she had me there. She kept pacing, trying to pace it throughout, and I was just trying to hold on and not let the girl behind me catch me, because I know she's a terrific runner. So good job to her as well.
And you want to give out a big shout out to all your family and club back in WA?
I do. I want to thank my parents for all the support and financial and mental support going into the race. I want to thank Janine from WA Triathlon for organising this all for everyone, and of course Triathlon Devonport and all the TA officials and Oz Triathlon for making this event possible.
All right, congratulations and good luck for the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you.
Well, it was great to hear from the somewhat diminutive Ava Henville. And she's got a very, very bright future in the sport of triathlon, and she has come away from this event with a bronze medal, so she'll be on the podium to get that particular thing. So we've only almost got, I think, a couple of other competitors still to come through, and here they come. They've worked really, really hard. I think this might be Charlie Newman, who's about to cross the line, and she has done that. Well done by Charlie. I had a chat to her and her mum and dad beforehand. She'll be thrilled to come through this event. I know she had a few little injuries to come back into this one. She's worked so hard. She was looking forward to coming down to the event. Great experience for the young lady. And now Gabriella Green as well, just forcing her way down across the line, big smile on her face, and there she goes, and she's finished this race now, and you can see there at about that 1:15. So a big smile and a bit of a hug, and the camaraderie you can see. So it was really, really good there, Redders, that all the people there was fantastic to see them cross the line. Their enthusiasm for the sport. I think we're in bright future with the quality of athletes that we've got.
Fantastic, well spoken, well raced, very mature young ladies, and did a fantastic job. And look, for Aspen and Claire in particular, that punched their tickets to the World Champs. That's pretty exciting. But that's not. We've got more racing to come. The junior men are going to kick off in around 30 minutes time. So. Yep. We'll have a little break. Yep. And we'll be back in around 30 minutes' time for the Oceania Junior Men's race.
Fantastic, Redders. Well, I hope you're enjoying the coverage. As Craig Redmond has just alluded to, we're going to have a short break. So now is the time to go and put the kettle on. But don't go too far. get comfortable because we've got the boys coming up next. So we'll be back with that race in about 30 minutes. Good morning and welcome to Devonport for the Oceania Junior Championships. It is the boys who are going around. We've already had the girls so far, and we are very, very excited. It's Andrew Hopwood and I'm joined by Craig Redmond for this big event.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Hoppy. We had an exciting race this, with the junior women about half an hour ago with Aspen Anderson taking that. And now it's the junior men's turn. Race defending champion, Tassie boy, Josh Woodbury from Tasmania as well. He's here to defend his title in his home state. And we actually caught up with young Jack Woodbury just before the race. Jack Woodbury, you're back here in your home state of Tasmania, ready to defend your Oceania Junior Championship. Yeah. Tell us what your plans are for the race on Saturday.
Yeah, plans still stays the same. Just race aggressively and race the same as I always do.
So you've done this course before in the elite race. This is the first time as a junior racing for the national, the Oceania title. What are your thoughts on the course?
Yeah, obviously it's a hard course with that hill, but yeah, it splits the field up and shows, separates the good riders, I guess, on that hill and the not so good riders. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
So how's the training been going? What are the sort of things you've been doing to rehearse for a course like Devonport?
Training's still sort of staying the same, just riding hard, running hard and swimming as hard as I can. So yeah, it's going well.
Now they tell me there's selection on the line for this race. There's a lot to go. Now I look back at another Tasmanian, Jake Birtwistle, who won the Australian junior title on this course as well, which got him selection for the Worlds. Your Worlds are in Wollongong. Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, especially being in Australia at home. So yeah, really looking forward to hopefully getting there this year. So
top two. So what are your race plans? Who you got to look out for, and what are the things you're looking for in the race?
Yeah, obviously there's a few strong swimmers in the field, so the swim will be a very crucial part. So been putting in some good work in the swim. So yeah, that'll be very interesting.
Good luck for the race, and hopefully we'll see you on the top of the podium.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great to see
Number 3, Jack
the vision there as the athletes are coming out now. Let's have a listen
Number
to
4,
our
Zahn
being
Spies.
introduced.
Number 5, Finley Oliver. Number 6, Bowen Bamford. Come on, crowd, fire up. Number 7, Oliver Moxon. Number 8, Ethan Brailsford. Number 9, Kyle Mason. Number 10, Caleb Wagoner. Number 11, Ivan Nagel. Number 12, Alexander Gardner. Number 14, Cohen Anderson. Number 15, Reese Olsen Keating. Number 16, Alec Ball. Number 17, Oliver Barnett. Number 18 is Cade Ellis. Number 19, Oliver Anthony. Number 20 is Ethan Mackey. 21, Connor Kemp. 22 is Jack Caldwell. Number 23, Angus Argent Smith. Number 24, Wade Barr. 25 is Jacob McAuliffe. Number 26, Joshua Person. 27, Merlin Saros. Let's get behind our Tasmanian. Number 28, Oliver Tyson. 29, Joshua Gordon Glassford. Number 30 is Oliver Christie. 31, Xavier Christie. Number 32, Zane Bowen. Number 33, Alexander Eason. Great poster. Number 34, Hunter Anderson. Let's get behind him. Number 35, Jude Brimelow. 36 is William Kisby. Number 37, Jake Smith. Number 38, Luke Williams. 39, Eric Aspeling. Number 40, Isaiah Ryan. 41 is Mark Rainey. 42, Benjamin DeVries. Number 43, Thomas Newsom. 2 fours together, Zach Booth. And number 45, William Cramsey. Let's hear it for our junior men. Oceania Championships making their way down to their start.
There we go, Redders. It's a very, very crowded starting line down on the beach.
It's all happening. What a great sight down here.
45 of the finest juniors from the Oceania region. And the big Trans-Tasman rivalry is on again here at the beautiful Devonport beach. Tides come in a bit from the junior women's race, so a bit of a less wade now for the junior men. Wind is picked up just slightly, but it's still protected because of the Mersey Bluff headland, so should be a pretty flat swim here.
So there is the list of the starters, as we just heard, and it was great to see some of the young fellas, especially young Hunter Anderson from Queensland, just enjoying the experience. It's one thing to have the visualisation and the earnest look on the face, but let's be clear, enjoy yourself out there, have a bit of fun. So it was really, really good to see that. So the race today, of course, it is the one lap. You go out and around the can, 750 metres. Then there's the bike ride. There's the course there, Redders. Of course, you know that so well. We've got 4 laps of the bike ride, which does include the big hill, which is fantastic, and then a very fast run to bring it home.
Yep. So in the starter's hands here, the traditional heartbeat.
Yes, it is. The pensive look. It is always very nerve-wracking towards the start. You just want to get away and make sure that you don't get knocked or battered around. interesting enough, I think it was Woodbury who was held back, and now he's gone to the front. He's gone very close towards the shore. As we saw in the previous event, there were two trains of thought. There was one that went out wide and one in close to the shore. So it certainly cooled off a bit, Redders. It's 21 degrees in the water. I think it's cooler of the air condition at the moment. It just has tempered slightly, but a very fast pace to start things off.
Yeah, that was an incredibly fast start.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, look, it's sitting around, air temperature's around 18 degrees at the moment, so slightly warmer in the water than the air. It was the decision to make at a non-wetsuit swim, so it's just on that borderline. Certainly the strong swimmers will be happy that it's a non-wetsuit swim.
There now, just all you can see there, just a bit of a knock of the goggles there, Redders, which has to be fixed up, but rhythm's back on now just for a minute. That does upset you. Oh, again, there's just
trying to reset
a little bit of adjustment.
Obviously got a bit of water in there, just trying to get the water out, just tilt it up a little bit.
Nothing worse than that when you do feel that. You just want everything to go smoothly, and we can see that flotilla of swimmers. It's making a very, very large splash. We've got one particular swimmer on that inside, so they go out towards the Mersey Bluff, or the headland, if you like. It's very calm in here for the people that aren't particularly familiar. Just out there is where the ferry comes in, which takes many a passenger from Tasmania to mainland Australia, now docks in towards Geelong, and there are the cans, and it can get a little bit rough out there. It's probably going to build throughout the day, Redders, but at the moment it's still reasonably calm within the confines of the Devonport Bay.
Yeah, look, you can just see the contour of those waves just pushing across there, which is they're protected still by the headland, but just as they get to that swimming buoy, they're going to get into a little bit of a lumpy swell, but it's not breaking, so it's going to be a perfect swim and a very fast swim.
It's interesting, those people that started probably in the higher numbers, they have now seemingly come to have a bit of an advantage, whereas the other ones have all come back to that pointy end. They started very, very wide. Of course, we do have 45 starters. I think it was 27 or 26 in the previous race, so it was a lot more of a flurry, if you like, at that starting line there. Just swimming along nicely, trying to get that rhythm going. And there is the first can, Redders, as they're swimming up towards it. And we've got great vision, whether it be via the ocean or our cameras that are out in the rubber duckies.
Yeah, so 750 metre swim, so always trying to get yourself in good position to get around that first buoy. So you can sort of relax a little bit and get you sighted for the second one, and you're not fighting people beside you. So great swim there around the can. This is not where you want to be in that first 4 or 5.
Yeah, just out wide, and you get pushed out further, don't you, Red? As you can see there, just in the middle, it's almost like a washing machine here, and you can almost see the occasional athlete inadvertently getting another arm just stray across the back of the old bonce there, and sometimes that can be, it can be somewhat off-putting. It can just move the goggles slightly, so you just got to stay nice and calm around these areas just here, because it can be slightly disturbing for you if you're not used to these conditions. These young fellas, there'll be experienced racers. They are here now representing their states and their countries indeed. And again, for our visitors watching from New Zealand, a very warm welcome to you to Tasmania. We hope that you, enjoy the race, and the people that you are barracking for do very well in this race today here in Devonport.
Yeah, the Trans-Tasman rivalry was live and well in the junior race.
Yes, it was, wasn't it,
the
the ladies?
Women and the ladies, so no different here for the junior men. So keeping an eye out for the two local Tassie boys, the two Jacks. It was Jack Woodbury, obviously the defending champion, and Jack Latham as well, who lives right here on the northwest coast as well. So happy for them to have a hometown race for the Oceania Championships.
Be fantastic for them in their home environment. They only have to travel the small distance. They know the conditions. There is some of the bikes that we can see here. Haven't the technology improved there, Redders? It's some amazing bikes on display there.
I think that's some of the pre-racking for our elite race a little bit later on. Look, there's a little bit of a swell around this other camp.
Look at that.
You can just see that they've come out of the protection of the Mersey Bluff there. You expect to see some swimmers up there like Jack Caldwell from New South Wales, Beau Bamford from Queensland, Oscar Wooten from Victoria is also a very strong swimmer.
Yes.
They're the ones that we sort of seem to think. Jack Woodbury obviously had a great start. Not exactly sure where he's sitting in that group.
I thought he was in that lead area to start with, but it was just a little bit challenging. Oh, look at the swirl starting to come in, but they'll be really pleased to turn around this can and head back towards the shore.
Also keep an eye out for Hunter Anderson, which is Aspen Anderson's brother as well.
All right, you can see here a little bit of movement in the water, just that sea building. I feel like I'm getting a bit seasick myself there, Redders, as that rubber ducky is going up and down, and also a warm congratulations and thanks to all our support crew who are out there doing water safety. I would suspect that nothing will be needed. These are elite athletes, but it's great that we've got all of those bases covered, and this is where the race comes back to.
Yeah, look, that's a really, for the swimmers out in the water at eye level, this is a really good sight for them.
It is, isn't it?
Like, just lifting those eyes up and they can spot the big Tasmanian arch, and so they can set their sights for home.
Of course, Tasmanian events, we thank them very much. The Tasmanian government, Nick Duigan, Sports Minister, they get behind this event, and why wouldn't you? It's a world-class event, Red, is the Devonport Triathlon.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, Devonport is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year, 40 years. 1985 was the very first Devonport Triathlon. It's been, like the cornerstone for many races in Australia and indeed Oceania, and now hosting World Para Series. Been hosting Oceania Champs for a long time, but World Para as well. Many athletes, who's who of triathlon, have won down here over the years. I just saw in the crowd actually another Tasmanian Olympian in Jake Birtwistle is down here to watch the juniors race. He's won here as a junior and won here as an elite athlete. Craig Walton, another Tasmanian, another Olympian who's won here. So it just establishes these races are so important for these juniors and their development in their career. And it is a tough course. They've got to do the North Street Hill 4 times. Really does sting, as we saw in the junior women's race. It is a tough hill, and it will set up the strong athletes that can win here today.
Yeah, very much so. I agree with you. As swimmers there, you can see just trying to lift the rating slightly, keep an eye on where they're going. And they'll keep an eye on that big Tasmanian arch, which they'll run under now. A couple of big kicks coming in, lifting the rating there, and big beats of kicks there, Redders, as you can see. Very strong indeed. And there's a bit of movement by those two leaders. Second place getter.
That's a fantastic shot. You can see what they're aiming for.
Yep.
A little bit of a split in the group. Those people now, this is the time not to panic. You just got to make sure that you're in the group and not lose contact, because if you look out to the left-hand side of the screen there's 1, 2, 3, it's about 4 people opening up a little bit of a gap. Now I'll be going from the slowest leg, the swim, to the bit of a run, to the fastest leg, the bike. That gap can open very, very quickly.
Yeah, that tide is on its way in, but it was amazing in the girls' race earlier, Redders, when they got up and run, and you can just see a couple of seconds gap, which was crucial, wasn't it?
And here we go. They're up and running. Swim right into, you can hands touch the bottom. Yeah, and it is Caldwell.
Yep.
We've called that as well. So Jack Caldwell, he's first out. And then Moxon in second, and De Vries from New South Wales in third.
Look at them really putting in the hard yards. As you can see, they've got that run. They'll come up onto their bikes.
And I saw Bamford there as well, so that was... Yeah, so Jack Caldwell's first out and Oliver Moxon in second. And here come the chase pack. Jack Caldwell, very quick transition. He's out. He's about to go over the mountain line now. He's onto his bike, and he's got a fantastic start. So he's out and clear. So Jack Caldwell, what a great start from him. And here comes the Kiwi boy.
Yep. It's Oliver.
Oliver. So he's right there as well. So he's right in that lead group. Oh,
and so
we've had a bit of a fall there.
It's Luke Williams, Anderson, Bartlett, Latham. It's very, very busy. Very busy indeed as they're now going out.
Yeah, Alexander Eason had a bit of a fall there, and just on the bike mount.
There is William Kisby as well going out, so they're just coming out straight past where the commentary area is, as some are on the bikes and the rest of the troops are coming up onto the beach and getting ready to get on their bike. Oh, there was Jack Woodbury. He's well back.
Yep.
Well back. There he is now. Wow, he's got a lot of work to do, Redders.
Yeah, our lead group's through. So, look, these guys aren't going to wait. They know what a runner he is, so they're not going to sit around and give it to him. So,
yeah, so Woodbury, a lot of work to do.
And it's helter-skelter here. There's bikes coming out. There's bikes heading down to the little turnaround, doing the U-turn, heading back out. But our leaders are now out onto the Coles Beach Road, heading towards the North Street Hill.
Beautiful vision as they go out, just getting themselves organised.
So we'll just try and get a little bit of a handle of who was in that lead group. So like Jack Caldwell was first out. Then we had Oliver Moxon there. Oscar Wooten was right up there. Benjamin DeVries, Bowen Bamford, Finley Oliver from New Zealand, Alexander Eason, who had that little fall, and Cohen Anderson as well from New Zealand was in that first lot of groups. So let's see how they go looking on the screen. And we've got 1 or 3 leaders up the front, another rider in no man's turn, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another chase group, about 6 or 7 athletes trying to get on.
Yep. So this is the first lap. They've got all to be done, 4 laps. It's the 20-kilometre ride. We can see some desperation from some of the guys a little bit further back, just trying to catch up, getting their rhythm now as they go past, pushing harder. It's a little bit cooler than the first race. It was quite warm early on, just gone, but just really comfortable racing conditions though, Redders. When you consider 18 odd degrees, that's absolutely perfect for someone who is going to put in so hard as these athletes will be doing. It's just that breeze that they don't want, do they? That we can just see a little bit more of a flutter in some of the flags and some of the trees that are surrounding us.
Yeah, it's only a little bit deceptive. It's a little bit of a headwind heading up there. The prevailing wind is a northwesterly, so they'll have a headwind out to the hill and then a tailwind back.
We'll get a good indication when they get to the North Street Hill very, very shortly, but it was Caldwell, Moxon, Wooten, all out in front. A big group still together yet, as you would expect in the early stages of the Oceania Junior Championships in the boys division, coming to you from beautiful Devonport on the northwest coast of Tasmania.
Yeah, they shouldn't be too far away from climbing that hill for the first time. And here we are.
And indeed, there they are, Redders. They're head down. Look at that.
So
big group.
Looks like it's the Kiwi
breakaway
athlete driving the front. Very strong cyclist from New Zealand. We expect that every time. And what's that? I think that's number 5.
Yeah, that's Finlay Oliver
from New Zealand.
Yep,
leading them up the hill for the first time. Jack Caldwell was there as well. He's had a great swim to lead them out. Some very strong swim bikers here.
Oscar Wooten just behind there. Redders on that inside. And a tight group as they come up to the turn before they go back down the hill. Tell you what,
saw the Tassie boy there, Jack Latham, in that group.
You can see there. Always interesting in the different styles, but they're all out of the saddle there because that is a very, very steep hill. Up they come. There is number 11, Ivan Nagel.
And here comes
from Western Australia. And there's Jack.
Jack
I'll tell you what.
He's riding strong.
He is riding strong. Look at the determination. He wants to get on the back of this. I'm not sure how much petrol he's using to try and to get on the back. This is an interesting strategy by Woodbury, Redders.
Oh, my good. Yeah, that was strong. He was riding strong. He knows the importance of making that front group. With his hill. And
he was well back.
Yeah, so they're screaming down. So that lead group, which is quite a big group, so if they don't get organised, I think Jack, the way he rides, could get back on here. But huge speeds down here. You can't afford to lose your nerve on this descent. Very quick left-hand corner and then a really sharp U-turn. So
see a little bit of a glance around by Oliver Moxon as he was just keeping an eye on how things were going. He's got to be cautious when you do look around coming down the hill. You don't want to take your eye off it too much because as you turn your head, you can also turn your hands as well, Reddit. So you just be very cautious when you're doing that.
The bike will go where your head goes.
Correct.
So,
that's more to the point. Oh, a bit of a shake there, but now he's nice and steady.
So let's see who's coming around in this group if they can get back on.
There's Woodbury. Yeah, so it's a reasonable gap still. It was deceptive. We saw him come up the hill, but he's made up ground already. I mean, we're going to focus on all the athletes. The reason with Woodbury, yes, he is Tasmanian, but he is the current champ, and he was a little bit back in the swim. So I'm fascinated to see the strategy that he will go out with, I guess, as you've said, and you'll say it infinitum, Redders, if you're back there, you've got to catch up. But it just depends how quick and what is your strategy. Think, I've got the rest of the race to do it. It looks like to me he wants to be there now.
I know he certainly would have recognised that it's not a great place to be. And look, it's probably not a bad race strategy because there's no decision to be made. He knows he's got to put his head down, and he's more than capable of running well off a hard bike ride. So that'll work out. But there's some incredibly strong cyclists in front of him, and they're not going to make it easy for him to get back on. So this is going to be a really, really interesting race.
So Ethan McKay went round there as we saw him. I'm sure that everybody who is watching will have a particular interest in their child, in their friend, and we hope that they all aspire to do the best that they possibly can. And that's the thing sometimes in this. You mightn't be up the pointy end, but it is a variance in age groups because it's between 16 to 19. And you're looking for those improvements, Redders. You're looking to gain experience in racing conditions. You can go and train as much as you like and think that you're going okay, but it's a different beast when you're in a race mode.
So we've got 10 in that lead group, and they're just coming back through to complete lap one of 4 laps, I should say. So 3 laps to go, 5K down.
They are flying, and they go directly past. Look at the pace. If you blink, you're going to miss that group, Redders, and look at that. The motorbikers really flying to try and get up with these guys. They are moving along.
So Zahn Spires there from Australia leading that group through to taste the leading the group through, and they're not sitting around. So we'll get a time split of that group.
And there's Woodbury. Just gone through as well.
So I reckon he's about 25 seconds down, I reckon, at the moment. So just to give you an update, who's in that lead group, we've got Zan Spires, Cohen Anderson from New Zealand, Jack Caldwell from Australia, Finlay Oliver from New Zealand, Oliver Moxon from Australia, Oscar Wooten from Australia, Zane Bowen, and we've also got Jack Latham in that lead group, along with Benjamin De Vries. So that's the lead group.
Yeah, it was interesting. And
Hunter Anderson as well.
Yep. Then there's one off the back, then a little group of 3 just trying to climb then, and they're trying to work together to get the pace up and go again. And then there's another group back which includes the current champ Woodbury, who's actually settled into a position, not really bursting out. He's maybe deciding to settle in a bit. It'll be fascinating to see when they go back to that.
He's certainly made a big move from where he came out of the swim, but now it's about just assessing the race, seeing where the leaders are, trying to limit your damage. He's capable of running that sort of time gap down, but if it gets too far ahead. Jack Woodbury defending the title he won last year in Napier, the Oceania Junior Championships in New Zealand. back to defend it in his hometown.
Of course, Aspen Anderson did defend her crown earlier this morning in a very accomplished performance. A wonderful young lady, but it's all about the boys here. 45 of the best junior triathletes in Oceania racing here in Devonport.
So it looks like Jack Latham, the Tassie local, might have had a little bit of a spill on the turnaround. So he was in that lead group, but he's now caught in a little bit of no man's land. So just getting some round from the course. So it looks like he's up and racing again, but just lost a little bit of time on the turnaround.
So there we can see that was the transition area, and here they come. This is the vision that we're showing you, is the straight that goes past the start finishing line, really pushing on. And here they come, so they came directly past that. They get to that little chicane, they turn right, then left, and then work hard where they go sort of parallel with the ocean, and working their way forward to the North Street Hill.
So
when does a hill become a mountain, Redders? Because I tell you what, it'll feel like it by the time they get to the last lap.
Oh yeah, like it stings every time, and it just wears you down. But you've still got to maintain the energy and keep working the hill hard, and really trying to, the key is driving over the top. That's when you can't back off. You've really got to drive harder just over the ridge of it to try and get that up to speed, up the U-turn. And here they come for the second time.
It's a very different beast, is from a climber to a descender, and that's the difference. I love watching that and those nuances when the Tour de France is on, and you see some guys who are sort of specialists at one or the other, actually. And I don't know whether it's brave or foolhardy when you see the pace coming down the hill. These young fellas, they've been training and training for this. As you see them, look at them really working hard, Redders, as they come up this hill.
Yeah, look, it's not a particularly long hill,
but
it is steep, so it's more of what we call a power hill than a so not necessarily the pure climbers, but more the power athletes tend to do well here.
Very much so. So there are the athletes. So they get up and about. We can see just on the inside there's
Jack
Woodbury.
Yep, he's driving forward. He's certainly strong on the climbs.
He was also joined in that group by Hunter Anderson as well.
And there's Jack Latham, the other Tassie boy. So he did have a fall at the turnaround because he was in that lead group.
Yep.
So not sure what happened there.
There's Wade Barr.
Skill error.
Down they come.
So what do we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that lead group.
We'll be able to give you great clarity. We can get the visual aspect of it now, and that each time that they come past the markers that our electronic devices are updated, and you can see really powering down there was Oscar Wooden there. Look at that. He really took it upon himself to come on that inside and go round. So there's a couple of New Zealanders right in the bunch. Look at that tight turn there. That's the one you've got to be careful on.
Fantastic bike skills on that turn.
Wasn't it?
Hails from Ballarat in Victoria. He's just relocated to the Gold Coast to pursue his studies and to further pursue his triathlon career. So,
well, I guess it's a little bit more conducive
here we go.
to training.
So we've got a drop chain. We spoke about that in the junior women's race. You can't afford to be changing gears on this climb. It's too steep. There's too much pressure on your chain. And unfortunately, these are things that happen if you go to gear down. If you're not in that right gear from the start of the climb, it can cause you troubles.
Yeah, it's always the thing, isn't it? To get to that, if you're going to be going down, Redders, get to that easier gear prior to it. Also, you saw there the wheel turn. It's all happening here on the North Street Hill.
Yeah, it's
let's hope they can get this worked out. It's very frustrating, isn't it, Redders, when you're as fit, you're primed for the event, and you have something happen mechanically.
Look, I'm really feeling for him because he had great position, this young fellow, and just to watch everyone ride past you and all that hard work, it's just heartbreaking.
As we just
hopefully can get that chain back on. And that was a course in triathlon. You're not allowed outside assistance. You've got to make fix the bike yourself. So that's devastating. We'll try and pick up who that athlete was.
Well, let's. And then you just got to go through the process of getting back on, saying, well, it's happened, so I'm going to do the best I can, and see if you can't get back up.
And the trouble with that position on the hill, it's so steep.
I was going to say, how do you get going again?
It's very hard to get back on.
It's almost like running the damn thing up, because
you're almost better off to run it to the top and keep going.
Yep.
And get it done up there, because getting back on, because the hill is that steep.
Correct. All right. Coming around the corner there. Nice and tight. It's unfortunate we have had a couple of little incidents.
Incredible speed here. These guys are so strung out, so you can tell the pace is high and everyone's working incredibly hard. A lot of nervous energy.
Yep.
They're expanding that, and the group at front, and here they come through to complete their second lap.
Gee, they're going hard, Redders. Look at the pace as we've just lifted our heads in the commentary tower and seen them go by, and you sort of get a sense of when you hear the high revs of the motorbike to keep up with them.
Get up and cheer. New Zealand, Finlay, Oliver are driving them through to finish their second lap, so 10 kilometres to go on the bike. And the chase group goes through with young Woodbury. We think they're about 20 seconds, so he's managed to make a little bit of ground back up.
All right, so it is Finlay Oliver from New Zealand who is leading the event from Oliver Moxon. What have we got then? Zahn Spies and Jack Cordwell in that group. Just slightly to Cohen Anderson and Oscar. Well, they're all still in that same group. And who else is there? Benjamin DeVries. I think then there's a bit of a gap, Redders.
Yeah, seven in that lead group, and then we've got about a 25-second gap.
And then we've got Caleb Wagner and Jack Woodbury. Interesting. Okay, so making up some ground there, but how much petrol is being used to get there will be the thing, because those guys in the lead group are doing a very, very nice job. So now, as we watch them go back out, Finlay Oliver doing a great job from New Zealand so far in this junior Oceania race here in Devonport. Still bunching up, nice and tight, getting themselves organised, glancing from side to side, trying to get a feeling on what are our competitors looking like. Are they looking like they're struggling? Are they relaxed? And there is a good vision, Redders, of the group that's chasing.
Just trying to get out of sight, out of mind on that little windy part along the coast road there. Still got 7 in that lead group. So we've got two Kiwis in there and 5 Aussies. And then we're looking at, like I said, about a 20-second gap back to the chase group, which includes Jake Woodbury.
Yes.
Jack Woodbury, I should say. I was just seeing Jake Burtwhistle walk past.
There you've got the old Jakes on the mind.
Giving us a wave.
He wasn't a bad. He's not a bad athlete himself. Let's be clear on that.
Yeah. He knows what it's like. He's actually won this race, the Oceania Junior title as a junior.
Yep.
So he knows the pressure that young Jack Woodbury's under, having a hometown race and trying to defend a title.
Yeah, well, all of a sudden you get to be known, and like we know Jack, obviously. We apologise if we seem to be focusing on. The reality is he is a local fella, and he is the current champion. So we're just fascinated to see how he'll go about it. But everyone else who has someone invested in this race, again, hello to you. Welcome to the coverage, and we hope that your charge is doing having the best race possible. I'm sure they're going to do the best to represent themselves, their family, their coaches. No doubt about that. As we can see, the athletes are racing out towards the hill as they're coming out and about, and that is the North Street Hill, and here they go, ready for another assault. This is lap 3 of 4.
So we're down to 6, so they've dropped another one there. The 2 Kiwi boys are still both there, so that's fantastic for New Zealand. And
might have been some gear change, gear problems here, Redders. That's a decent growth. So here's there's the next one.
So he's been shelled off the back of that course. That can just give you an idea how hard they're riding.
Yes.
And the chase group not far behind that.
So it is still Finlay Oliver out in front, ever so slightly, but that group is still together, Redders. So here they come, trying to catch up. The last contact that we had,
and once again,
it was 20 odd seconds, and we can see there in the chase group, it is Jack Woodbury.
Yeah, he's riding really hard here, trying to get across to them.
So that is very interesting indeed. Coming to the top of the hill, there is Ivan Nagel going to that tight turn. They'll go there and no pedalling involved. They give a couple of big shoves and then they get into the best aerodynamic position they can coming down here, Redders. And well, as I said, they're pedalling. Look at that. Now they go nice and low.
Incredible speeds down this hill.
Be very careful as you go there because you're very narrow. Hard to control your bike. There's been plenty of practice invested in these young fellas.
And these guys are working very, very well together, and they're not going to sit around waiting for the runners in the field like Jack Woodbury.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because we know that Woodbury can run quite well, and they don't really want him about.
Yeah, so Oscar Wooten's certainly going very well. He finished 5th at the 2023 Commonwealth Youth Games, and has been having a really, really good season. So. And here's Jack. He's gone solo, so he's broken away from that chase pack, and he's out after them by himself. So that's the strength. That's the strength of his cycling ability. So he's not going to wait around. He's going to try and get onto them. But gee, I've been impressed with young Finlay Oliver. Yep. He's been doing an amazing job, riding great position, doing really well. And he finished second to Jack Woodbury in Napier last year.
Yep.
So he obviously knows that if he can get a lead onto that run, then he's a real chance to reverse the tables from Napier last year.
I know we sort of went there before and only had a brief chat to him, and he was sort of smirking and said he'd love to get some revenge and spoil the party for all the Tasmanians. He's a lovely young fella, so he's doing a very nice job out on the track. So
yeah, it's great to see all the Kiwis over here. There's a lot of history of Kiwi athletes coming to Devonport and winning. They've had Olympic selections in the past here over the past 40 years of the history of the event, and it's just fantastic that they keep racing here, and it feels like home to them. So it feels like a home race.
Yep. So we're back up in the high camera, if you like. Look at that beautiful vision of the athletes coming along the road back towards the fast part of the course, the straight down here where we are, and we're about to see them go past us, Redders, as they come slow down around this particular chicane. There's a tight right, then a left, and they're about to come past us.
So 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go. Can we pick up Jack Woodbury in the background? No, we can't. These guys are going really well. So they're going to get the bell.
Fast.
They've got the bell. It's 5 against 1 on this. It'll be interesting to see what this time gap is.
You can hear the bell for the last lap. Jack the Flash Woodbury, as they called it, but it's a fairly decent...
We'll try and get a time gap here.
All right. So it's still Anderson, Moxon, Spies, Wooten, Oliver, Cordwell, all pretty much locked together, Redders. And how far back to Woodbury? 20 seconds, is it?
Oh, it's about 16 seconds.
16,
so he's
all
closed
right.
down. He's dropped that group and he's come through. So these guys have got to have an idea of where he is and whether they. I think 16 seconds for him is very gettable, depending on how much energy he's expended to ride solo. But I'll tell you what, it'd be incredibly impressive if he if he can get up from here.
Yeah, so these guys are doing a great job, as we said.
There he goes.
I'm just wondering, I don't know if that's labouring or that's excited or what it is. You know, I know he's being spurred on by the local crew, but that's got to take a lot of energy from you, I think.
He's certainly putting out some big numbers, I would imagine, on his measuring. So
because the other guys, I don't know, they just seem more relaxed, that leading group to me. What would I know? But they certainly did look quite relaxed as they went there. I mean, let's be clear, you can get yourselves organised, you're just in the pack, you're not seen to be racing so well. So now, going along very, very nicely, as we can see, pushing hard, out along, and past they go of these competitors getting the bell lap. It is 4 laps as we can in this race at 750 metres on the swim, which they have completed. 20 kilometres on the bike. They're on the last lap, and then it's a 5K, so 2.5 kilometre efforts in the run, as we're getting the beautiful visions here from Devonport in Tasmania. Some of those races are coming back, and it's all action stations here as it just goes whoosh. It's extraordinary, actually, when you are watching it live to feel the pace of these bikes. They're so light, they are an amazing machine, and they're slight athletes, very highly tuned, all muscle as they go about their work. Of course, they're light because they are built for speed and built to go very, very fast as these bike riders are trying to catch them up. But at the moment, it is Cohen Anderson, the New Zealander, Oliver Moxon from Australia, Zahn Spies, Australia, Oscar Wooten from Australia, and Finlay Oliver and Jack Cordwell. They're in the lead group. And then there's that gap, which was 16 seconds, still around about the same, back to Jack Woodbury, who has decided the only way he's going to try and defend that title is to come out on his own. And he's out chasing that front group as hard as he can. The only concern for me is when he came past where we're sitting in the Craig Redmond commentary tower, he looked to be exerting a great deal of energy as we see the lead group go up the North Street Hill for the last time. And this is where it's always fascinating for me. Is anyone able to make this break? Already we can see one just slightly towards the back, but just hanging on, Redders.
Yeah, look, they're going to look at each other and thinking, right, who's the runners here? Who can I cover? The runners are going to think, well, I just need to stay in this pack. The ones that are not so confident about their run is going to try and break away. And here we look, Jack Woodbury coming up the hill, doing the solo. He's not going to die wondering. Yeah. He's going to chase after these guys.
Mate, you just popped your nose outside. How's that weather out there?
It's actually,
is there 1 or 2 drops of rain?
Yeah, look, it's cool. Yeah. The wind's starting to get up, but perfect for racing.
Yeah, it is at the moment. It's just as long as there was a suggestion rain maybe later in the day, that might happen. And just while these guys are on the bike, I'd rather it stay nice and dry for them, because they're going at some terrifically high speeds, as we can see. The leaders now coming down, they get into that aerodynamic position. Have a look at the inside, just trying to catch up as they come down. And say brave, foolhardy, really quick pace into this corner. As now they go round, you can see the knee come out. Oh, getting a little bit close. Ooh. In fact, Anderson went very, very wide there. Cohen Anderson, just be careful, son.
And there'll be a bit of jostling for position now. We saw Aspen Anderson in the junior women's race, how important it was to get that front position coming into T2, and that just opened up the gap and the race was over. So these guys, and Jack Woodbury's still chasing, so that gap is still pretty tight. I think it's, if he's feeling okay on the run, it's certainly gettable, but it's a question of how much energy he expanded to ride where he is. A gutsy ride.
Okay, so as they then coming down the hill, all of these competitors for the last time. As you said just a few minutes ago, Red, as they're starting to think about what lay ahead in the run. And they've given it their all. It is the sprint distance, because they're quite varied in the types of races in triathlon, whether it be sprint, Olympic distance, even up to the half Ironman and indeed the Ironman. But it is almost like they just don't muck around in this one, do they, Redders? It is pretty much at your optimum for the race for these athletes.
Yeah, look, and I'm not aware of the Kiwi selection for Worlds, but certainly for the Australian juniors, there's a spot on the line for Wollongong later in the year, as we see Jack Latham, local boy, coming around. He had a great start, but unfortunately he made an error in one of the turns and crashed. But he looks like he's okay. He's just lost ground, obviously, and you can't afford to lose that. These guys are riding so fast that you've just got to pick yourself up and keep pushing on.
Well, he's got a lot to ride for. He's not only having quite a few family and friends, given this is his home community, so he'll be doing the best he can possibly do. He just has to forget what's happened and just put your best foot forward for the rest of the race, and it's a learning experience, as we say.
So our lead group, they're on their way back. So Cohen Anderson, Oliver Moxon, Zahn Spears, Oscar Wooten, Finlay Oliver and Jack Caldwell are on their way, and here they come in now.
Oh,
just a little bit of a mistake. Oscar Wooten just slipped around the outside, got caught up on that corner. It's about doing your reconnaissance before the race and making sure you know your things.
Exactly where you got to go.
And another crash there. Look out, they're having a ding-dong battle. I think it's the Bledisloe Cup going on here at the moment.
Look at this. It's well, here's the interesting thing. When I used to race Redders, I couldn't lift the bike. It was so heavy. They wouldn't even know they got a bike in their hand.
Yeah, you can
their
see
equipment is so light.
They're trying to get the ground, and let's see what the time gap is to Jack Woodbury. But Oscar Wooten, he is off.
Oh, that's quick, isn't it?
What a fantastic change. The boy from Ballarat, he's away and running.
Look at that.
What a transition. He's opened up a gap. He's done an Aspen Anderson right there. Fantastic.
Well, he is certainly going hard, and the race is on. Look at that, from those guys coming in together. That's quite a gap. As we can see, Woodbury going in there. He's a fair way back now, Redders.
Yeah, they would have been
keep a close eye on the time.
They would have been flying on that last lap. He's just putting his shoes on now. This will have to be an incredible run, I would imagine. Oh, he's not moving that well.
No.
I think he's expended some energy, but he's a talented athlete, and he's not going to die wondering. But right now, he's got the work ahead of him.
Taking a deep breath.
Look,
and he'll be encouraged by some of the local support, but we wish all the athletes well on their run. But of course, Jack, especially given he is a Tasmanian fellow with all the Tasmanians.
I reckon he's about 35 seconds down on Oscar Wooten.
Wow!
So that's going to be a fair bit of work to get back. But he hasn't won the title in the past for a reason. So, but right now, Oscar Wooten is there. So that's Jack Caldwell running there in. He's flying.
Have a look at that. Has he gone to the lead? That's amazing.
So Jack Caldwell from New South Wales.
So Caldwell, just as the cameras went away from us, he has really put the burners on, hasn't he?
That's very impressive. And if and then the Queensland athlete then not far behind that. Well, fantastic.
Well, running very, very nicely. But I wonder what's happened there to Wooden. He's just dropped back slightly. Anyway, here he goes. Tell you what, that's a very fast pace, Redders.
He's moving well.
He is moving very, very nicely. And I guess he knows because he's going to have some very, very elite runners coming up behind him. So he's trying to stamp some authority on this race as we speak. Doing a nice job. That's Caldwell. Showing on our laptops here that Wooten is still in the lead, but we're going to go with Jack Cordwell. Of course, our cameras are following him along, Redders.
Yeah, that was just out of transition, which he got a very good thing, but we obviously he's moving in. But I tell you what, he is absolutely running this first K in a very good clip.
It's interesting strategy. You know, you can just get him in. He's going to say, right, I'm going to break him. And that's what actually in the middle distances and even the long distances, the way the African runners do it, they run in waves, don't they, instead of just getting in a rhythm, to try and break rhythm up when you're running. And maybe Caldwell's decided, I'm going to try and do the same tactic. I'm just going to go out and put the foot on the accelerator and you catch me if you can.
Well, he's obviously showing good form because he's led out of the swim. He's rode really good position on the bike, and look at his form now. He's moving really, really well. And look, he wants to punch that ticket for Wollongong. There's an automatic spot up for grabs, and if you don't perform here, 2 spots could go.
Yep. So here we can see on the streets of Devonport.
So our Western Australian competitor there heading
Alexander
out.
Gardner, I think it is. Yep. Out he goes on the run. He knows he's got 5Ks left in his race. So it is Jack Cordwell who is leading it out. There's Oliver from New Zealand, Anderson, Moxon coming up.
And there's Wooten. So obviously he's gone out very hard the first 400 metres, but he's
struggling slightly, doesn't he?
And there's Jack Woodbury in the background. So all he can do now is try and pick off each runner as he can and get himself in as close as he can to the podium.
This is the interesting concept as far as he's concerned. It is one at a time. I suppose he's got to keep an eye on the leader, which is Cordwell, and gee whiz, he looks $1 million. Just beautiful running style, relaxed and very, very fast at this stage of the race. It'll take a lot of catching.
Yeah, so Jack Cordwell hails from Eden in New South Wales. And he's moved to Penrith to studying teaching, education. Didn't race that much in the last year and that because of some injuries and niggles and stuff. So he's certainly hitting this race with a vengeance. So Jack Caldwell from Eden, New South Wales, is running very, very strongly with about 3 kilometres to go from this position.
Beautiful spot down there on the south coast of New South Wales. My lovely wife and I had the good fortune to do a bit of grey nomading around there and poke around. It's a beautiful spot. It's a twofold bay and had the history of whaling and all that sort of stuff. It's absolutely lovely down there, and I tell you what, he is making every post a winner at the moment. Redders, as Jack Cordwell is going very nice. Oscar Wooten, who came out, and gee whiz, it was such a fast transition. And then Cordwell just went up beside him and has gone past as if he was standing still. As all our races are now pretty much out on the run. There's maybe 1 or 2 to go, but they're all having a crack now. All these young fellas from the ages of 16 to 19 in the Oceania Junior Championships here in Devonport.
So Jack Caldwell, coached by James Sweeney in Penrith. He's there doing university, studying education. And he is moving incredibly well.
See that what is coming down to the straight. I reckon once he turns and looks back, I think everyone else will probably be thinking he might be a little bit too far away at this stage. He's just running so very, very within himself, it just looks like now. It's like he can run another gear. It looks relaxed across the face.
Yeah.
But we will get a good time on it in just a few moments when he goes past. Of course, they've got those ankle bracelet things on now at Redders where the timekeepers keep an update. It tells you how many laps they've done, the time. The sophistication now is incredible.
Yeah, so he's coming up to complete the first lap of 2 laps, so 2.5 kilometres to go. He gets teased by the finishing line.
There it is. That's next time round.
He runs past. He's got to do a U-turn and go back and do another 2.5 kilometres. but he gets a good look at who's who coming at him, and he can just measure his dose now, measure his effort, control it. Still striding very, very well, and we just get a vision of the Queensland athlete who's running in second place. He's going very, very well. So Jack Caldwell is around the turn, and here comes... It's Zahn Spies from Queensland is in silver medal position. So Spies in silver, and
I think about 17 seconds down.
And Oliver from New Zealand in the bronze medal position with 2.5 kilometres to go.
And he's about 26 seconds behind as well.
So we've got New South Wales, we've got Queensland, we've got New Zealand. And then here's our next lot of runners coming through. Moxon and the other Kiwi boy, Anderson, as well. And here comes the defending champion, Jack Woodbury, in 6th position. Can he get onto the podium? I don't think he can win from here, but he can certainly get onto the podium.
Just the old school there, holding it about 52 seconds behind our leader. So
Jack Caldwell's turned in 49.38. Zahn Spies in 49.55. Finlay Oliver is 50 minutes and 4 seconds. Moxon and Anderson at 50.21, and then Jack Woodbury at 50.30. So Oliver, I'd imagine, would have the target on his back from Jack Woodbury at around 25 seconds with 2.5 kilometres to go.
So very, very exciting race here. We're very much looking forward to seeing these runners coming down. It is Caldwell sprinting very, very hard. Just relaxed, looks within himself now, doesn't he?
Yeah, running with nice turnover, relaxed arms. Just getting a little bit of a rock going up as the fatigue sets in, but I think he's got this under control. Won't be thinking about now. He'll be just wanting to get to the far turnaround.
As far as the athletes go, it's just sort of looking at him. He's quite large in his physique, isn't he, for a triathlete? Quite a strong-looking fellow.
Yep.
A lot of the triathletes, I mean, very lean. You don't want to, carry any additional weight on board, but he just looks even slightly muscular on top. But tell you what, he's going so well. Look at that.
This is certainly a strength course, so those athletes are a little bit stronger, tend to do well here. But he's looking very, very good here. He's probably got about 2.2 kilometres to go.
Yep.
For that position.
Running really nicely. It had to be something outrageous to happen. This young fella has had a wonderful race. He came out, as you said, Bretters, up at the pointy end in the water, gave himself every opportunity. He sat very nicely within the group. Didn't go out too hard. He just sort of sat in there, knew all about it, and he came off the run. He was obviously relaxed. It was Oscar Wooten who went out very quickly. He came out, I think, in 3rd or so, but he was in the group. And then he just went whoosh. He knew what it was about, pre-planned, and gee whiz, he that first kilometre he was on fire.
Yeah, so Jack Caldwell's looking really strong. He'll get down to the far turnaround and beautiful views of the Mersey River here in Devonport in the background, and he's looking very, very comfortable. He's got this race under control. It'll be interesting to see where the silver and bronze are, and 4th and 5th, because that was starting to tighten up.
It was.
So
I think he seems to be extending it.
He is running away with this race. There's our second place getter, Zahn Spies from Queensland, right down in the back screen. He's in the silver medal position.
So there was Jack Caldwell. He's gone round, and we'll just see if we can see. Here we go now. Oh, I tell you what, Finlay Oliver, is he making any impression at all?
It's close.
It is close. They're going to just keep that concentration level if they can.
And there's Oliver, and there is Woodbury in the background in 4th.
Fourth position.
He's coming through. So the Kiwi boy's got a target on his back from the defending champion. But this will be very, very interesting. I don't think he's going to quite get from there. think the bike leg, the effort riding solo on the bike, he's probably taken too much out of his run. But anything can happen in the last kilometre of a triathlon.
Yeah, he excelled a lot, and so it is Finley Oliver now. So just to be clear, it's Cordwell, whom we have here. This is wonderful vision of this junior athlete, very promising triathlon career that might lay ahead. We don't want to put any pressures on these young fellas, but he looks very, very good today. Can very much depend on the day, and this so far he's running very, very nicely.
And obviously a breakout performance from Zahn Spies as well from Queensland, so fantastic race from him. It's really important you get yourself into that front group, makes things a lot easier. And he's just turning back onto the straight along the Esplanade, so
we can just see there Caleb Wagner, he from New Zealand, who was in 8th, he slipped up I think to 7th, just in front of Oscar Wooten as well. So you could see the strain on his face. He was trying very hard against the Australian there, but it is Jack Cordwell. He is on the home stretch now, Redders. Do you reckon now his mind is allowing him to think of the finishing tape, just that visualisation?
Oh, look, he won't allow himself to relax too much, but he's fantastic. Led out exactly the same race as Aspen Anderson to a degree. Got in and out of transition very, very quickly, just behind Wooten, and now he's just away and he's heading to home. It's probably about 800 metres to go from here, coming past the Devonport Oval. And he's had a little look behind. He's stilled a little look,
yes,
but just to make sure you don't get caught on that blue carpet. But he's Jack Caldwell. What a fantastic race! Led out of the swim, rode great position on the bike, and then has put his stamp on the race on the run. Fantastic effort.
So he's running good position. The arms still nice and relaxed, and for me, it looks like he's picking up the pace. He's certainly stamping the authority. Wonderful performance by him, and you can see where the athlete in front of him is going to continue on. Our leader, Cordwell, is about, you can see the fist pump, he's getting the high fives. He'll turn his directly right now onto the blue carpet, pushing down here. You put her in angel gear now, Redders. It's a wonderful feeling as you're flying down, getting the high fives from some of the crowd. They're giving him congratulations, as it is Jack Cordwell, as now he finally shows that emotion. He is absolutely thrilled for the victory. Well done, young man.
Yeah, fantastic effort. Really controlled race. Dominated from the start. Really fantastic swim, controlled bike, and just let it rip on the run. And here comes Zahn Spies from Queensland. He takes the silver medal here in Devonport, and it does depend on the time split averages, but he may well have punched his ticket for the World Championships as well. Automatic selection for Wollongong. We'll have to. I'm not a selector, so I'll have to leave the hands of the selectors.
So Oliver Finley crosses the line in 3rd position.
So bronze to New Zealand, and Tassie boy, defending champion Jack Woodbury, magnificent effort, takes 4th place here in Devonport.
So slowing down across the line. Didn't sort of fly through. He thought he did everything he could to make up the ground, and now you can see that's just what I love about the sport, to be honest, is you've done your best. You go over to the other competitors and just congratulate him. He really put in there, didn't he, to try and make that distance up.
Yeah, look, his swim wasn't quite there. Anderson from New Zealand coming through there as well.
Moxon
as well. Fantastic race there from the Kiwi boys. Look, he didn't have a great swim. He rode really, really hard to get up position, but in the end the gap was too great, and fantastic race from the guys in front. They didn't let him into the event. Between Cordwell and Oliver and Spies deserve their podium position. They came in and raced it really well. Here comes another New Zealand competitor coming across the line as well.
It was Wagner, I think. Yep, it was Caleb Wagner. Terrific race from him. Did very, very nicely. So it was Wagner, and I think we're waiting for Bowen Bomford potentially, and Oscar Wooten.
Yeah, so
maybe is the next competitor if we can just keep her on. Here we go now. And this is, I think, Oscar Wooten as he makes his way across. He was the man who went out so quickly from the transition. Oh, that might be a glimpse there. He just started to maybe hold the hamstring.
Yeah, probably a bit of cramping going from that hill. And look, it can bite you on the run. You don't realise. Bamford coming through there from Australia. So just to sort of recap a little bit, we had Jack Caldwell in first, Spies in second for Queensland. Finlay Oliver takes the bronze medal from New Zealand. Jack Woodbury in fourth. Cohen Anderson from New Zealand in fifth. Oliver Moxon from Australia in sixth. Caleb Wagner from New Zealand in seventh. Oscar Wooten in eighth. Bowen Bamford in ninth. And Kyle Mason rounds out the top 10 here in the junior race.
Terrific performances from these young athletes in what has been absolutely wonderful conditions for them. The girls went across in the very first event and it was dead set calm. Just got a little bit breezier, but absolutely couldn't ask for any better conditions, because actually, as it happened, the temperature eased off slightly, so it was just in and around that 18.5, 19, although it was 21 in there. So Redders, I know that you'll now head off and have a bit of a discussion with some of our competitors. Probably you'll grab Jack Caldwell first to see how he went about it. We hope you are enjoying the coverage wherever you are across the world, but especially if you're watching from New Zealand, our friends from New Zealand. You'd be thrilled with some of the performances from some of the young fellas in this race, and indeed I think we can just about see someone else from New Zealand. Let's have a look here. That might be Barnett that has just crossed the line, so well done by him. As we just see there, it is 101.31. Latham from Australia. Again, Ball from New Zealand. Person from here from Australia. Wonderful performances by these athletes. It's a great learning experience. There's no doubt about it. Varying ages. So just to be clear on the qualification for this, it is from the ages of 16 to 19. So depending on where you sit, you could be from the lower end right to 16, or racing about someone who is closer to the 19. But it's all about getting used to these racing conditions, and from the historical venue that is Devonport. It is a wonderful weekend of triathlon. Yesterday we had part of in face race number 1 of the World Para Series, where we were inspired by the performances of our athletes. Today it is the elite. We've got the junior sprint, and later on this afternoon we have the elite men and women and the under 23s go round in the Olympic distance. And tomorrow the festival continues, where we've got the age groups, and so it's a wonderful weekend. 40 years of triathlon here in Devonport. The course has changed. It is now here at the Surf Club on the bench. On the beach down here. It is fantastic. So all the races are bunching up now as they come across the line. Terrific racing here in Devonport. As we're going to cross to Redders now to hear from our winner.
Jack Caldwell, one of 3 Jacks in the race today, but the one that came up top took the gold medal in the Oceania Championships. How did you feel?
Oh, mate, that's the most unreal feeling ever. Coming into the finishing chute, high fives, people, yelling. You can't compare that, the hours of training, and then to pull that off on race day is just amazing, yeah.
Look, it was an incredible race. You were really impressive. You led out on the swim. You rode really good position on the bike, and then the run was incredible. So take us through what your preparation and everything and what your thoughts were about that.
Yeah, I did a fair few hill reps in training, knowing that hill was coming up, so I think I was pretty well prepared for that. I think us, a little bit bigger boys, a little bit of a struggle, and the lighter boys just fly up beside you. You go, oh my God, what can I do? You just got to push, and I just knew I always swim hard. I like a gap. I don't like it to come together on the bike. So hard swim, push it on the bike, and then probably second lap on the run I was hurting, but I sort of felt like I was home and just tried to keep comfortable and do it, yeah.
It's one thing to take the gold medal in the Oceania Junior Championships, but it's another thing to punch your ticket for the Junior Worlds team in Wollongong later in the year.
Oh, it's amazing to get to represent Australia for the first time now. Can't wait to do it on home soil in front of all my friends and family and try and get on the top step for the Aussies.
So you're an Eden boy, so Wollongong's not that far, so you'll have a lot of family there.
Yeah, lots of family, lots of friends. I think a few people had already booked their accommodation before, so there's a bit of pressure coming in, but I'm glad to get it done. And I've just moved to Sydney, so it's actually only an hour drive down the road now, so really home soil, yeah.
Tell me, you're studying teaching and education there in Penrith?
No, I just deferred, so pro athlete now, I reckon. I've applied for a new course, hopefully starting in July, so full-time training for now, and then start study halfway through the year.
All right, well, congratulations, Oceania champion, Australian junior team for Worlds. What a great race.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Well, there we have our winner, Jack Cordwell, in the winning time. As you see him, as he came down here, he had an unassailable lead there. He was able to go and do the high fives for the adoring crowd. And have a look at this. He's finally realised that he is the champion. He is the junior champion of Australasia as he crosses the line in a time of 57 minutes and 19 seconds. A terrific measured performance from this young athlete. He was terrific on the swim. He was out of the water first. He got himself in a great position. There was a key group of about 8 riders. He was right up in the pointy end there, just got himself in that bunch, reserved some of his energy. He got off, and in the run, it was young Oscar Wooten who probably had the best of the changes. But then within the first kilometre, it was Cordwell who stamped his authority on the race. And once he got his nose in front, no one was catching him. He ran really, really hard, as we heard from him there, to get to that turnaround marker. And to be honest, that was the end of the race, because he was dominant as far as the foot race was concerned. He was relaxed, he was calm and controlled, and did a fantastic job. So congratulations there to Jack Cordwell, who is the winner and the champion in the boys event. You can see here some of the vision. That's Aspen Anderson, who is the winner of the female event. So they're winners are grinners, and they can see there just sort of trying to get the photo. But we also now, I believe, go back to Redders for an interview. I believe he's got Zahn Spies there to have a chat with.
Zahn Spies, silver medal today, Oceania Championships down in Devonport. Tell me about your race.
Oh, look, I'm stoked with that one. I'm over the moon. I still hadn't really admitted to myself that I was in that position to win. Podium even. I was on the bike pack, and I was really happy to get the front bike pack. So it's something that I've been working on a lot lately, is trying to improve that swim. So I think it came from that, and I was able to execute from there.
So you rode really well on that bike and obviously ran well. But tell us about the North Street Hill. How did you find out? What were your tactics to negotiate that?
Yeah, look, I love the hill. I think more triathlons need to be like that. I think we need more variance in all the bike courses. So I haven't actually, it's crazy to say, but I haven't actually ridden on a course that isn't just completely flat. So I was stoked to have the hill. I didn't really know what the plan was. I was going to assess during the race because it depends on how the bike pack forms. So I knew today all I had to do was try and conserve most of energy. I knew I wouldn't be able to break away from that pack. So it was good just to conserve and ready up for that run.
Now, you trained with Rena Hill in Brisbane, and you had all the fun and the games with the Cyclone just recently. How did you manage the training for that, getting ready for Devonport?
Yeah, look, it was a bit interesting with the Cyclone the week before, but luckily all the work's pretty much done before then. And I was talking to Rena before the race. I wasn't actually able to hit a lot of the times in training that I wanted to, and I was talking to Rena about that, and she just said, look, putting that all behind you, this course, you just need a lot of heart if you want to do well. And I knew out there, like, I don't want anyone else giving it more than I did out there, so that's what it was, just a lot of heart, and had to put it all out there on the run, and it worked well, so I'm stoked with that.
Silver medal, you've punched your ticket for the Australian junior team. You get to wear the green and gold at the World Champs in Wollongong later in the year. How does that feel?
It means a lot. Obviously a lot to build up to now, and hopefully bigger and better things to come in preparation for the Worlds, but it means so much to be in Australia as well, to hopefully have a lot more family out there, and cuts a lot of costs, so it definitely, to consolidate that world spot means so much.
Well, congratulations, silver medal today. Good luck for the rest of the year.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Great to see Zahn Spies, who was absolutely thrilled with his race. It is, as Redders said a few minutes ago, a breakout race for him. He'd be thrilled with that time too of 57.38 as he crossed the line. And a young fella, and had a great race here in Devonport. I'm sure he'll have very, very fond memories. And who knows, it could be the start of a very, very bright career for that young man there. So it was Jack Cordwell, the winner, Zahn Spies, and I believe Redders is going to speak to Finley Oliver in just a few moments. And in fact, we'll go now to Redders to have a chat to Finley Oliver, our bronze medalist.
Finley Oliver, bronze medal today in the Oceania Junior Championships here in Devonport. How was your race?
The swim was quite hard today. I was expecting to come out a little bit further up, but I still made the front group. It was good. The bike was good. There was a little mix up in transition, and I ended up running past my own rack and came a bit behind. But it's not a bad result. I didn't come to lose, but a medal is still good. And you know, I have to take these losses on the back and come back stronger next time. I have no excuses today. The boys that beat me were fantastic, so kudos to them.
No, look, it was an amazing race for you. Like bronze medal at Oceania Championships is nothing to sneeze at. We did see a little bit of a bingle in transition. We called that as the Bledisloe Cup. It was Australia versus New Zealand in transition with the bike mix-up.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to break away a little bit at the end of the bike, and I got a little gap. My cornering skills isn't the best, so I kind of got caught on that corner and that little bit at the end. And one of the Aussie boys just kind of ran in front of me and fell over. When you're racing to your limit, your mind is kind of racing on other things, and I just didn't. I wasn't thinking. I ran past my own rack and towards the elite girls' rack. So it happens, but at the end of the day, there's still no excuses. Those guys beat me today.
Now, my understanding under the New Zealand selection policy, you've automatically punched your ticket to race for New Zealand at the World Championships in Wollongong later in the year. How does that feel to be on Team New Zealand?
It feels great. I've represented New Zealand the last 2 years at Worlds, so it's so amazing for me to be able to do that. I'm so proud of Cohen Anderson as well for making that team. He's had like a lot of problems these last few years, and for him to be there is awesome. He deserves it so much.
Well, congratulations today, bronze medal, and good luck for the next year.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well done to our friends from New Zealand, as that was Finlay Oliver, and you can see him coming across with a fast finishing Jack Woodbury trying to catch him. Jack had the wood over Oliver in the last race, and he got one up on me on this time, and he finished on the podium. So congratulations to Finlay Oliver from New Zealand again. A big cheerio to our friends watching from across the ditch. We hope that you have enjoyed the coverage here. So it is Jack Cordwell who runs out a victor here in the junior Oceania title that he gets, and as Redders has said before, he gets selection. Zahn Spies from Queensland was in second, and Finley Oliver in the third position, and Jack Woodbury, the local boy, at 58.09 coming in fourth position. But it was a terrific race, and they were all fine young men there, Redders.
Oh, amazing stories. Certainly Jack. What an incredible race, and he prepared himself, he delivered a performance, and he's made his first junior world's team for Australia, so he's ecstatic. Certainly same thing for Zahn as well. He gets to represent the green and gold, and now Finlay gets to go to the Worlds for New Zealand for the third time as a junior. They've all punched their tickets for Wollongong. Look, we've got more racing to come. We've got the elite women kicking off very shortly at 1:15 our time here in was about around 45 minutes time. So we might just take a little break, Hoppy.
Absolutely, mate. Well done. It was fantastic to bring you the races here. So that's two races down. That is the Oceania Junior titles. In the first event, it was Aspen Anderson. She was fantastic. She was across the line first, did a great job, from Claire Spicknall and Ava Henville. And in the boys division, it was Jack Cordwell from Zahn Spies and Oliver Finlay as well to round that off. So from Craig Redman and Andrew Hopwood, we're going to have a break now, and we hope that you are enjoying the coverage here from Devonport. Don't go too far, because we're going to be back with the Oceania Elite Australian Standard Championships and the under-23s as well. We'll be back at about 1:15.